All right, welcome back to In the Shadow of Fire. This is session number 12, entitled Battle at Big Bridge. The second session that has had Big Bridge in the title. Uh, keep on messing with that damn bridge. So yeah, that said, last session, a comet or meteor or some big random rock fell from the sky, apparently launched from the dwarven coast, smashed down on the Nadrasi Isle, and was seen by the group as a massive dwarven fortification that is currently manned by automatons, not too dissimilar from the automaton that attempted to butcher Lady Alcantara. On the same bridge, the last episode that featured the bridge. That said, the decision was made to retaliate. Lady Alcantara has raised the banners and drawn her militia force to herself. She is prepared to march. Currently, the map is showing what will presumably be the start of that fight, but as a method to get everyone ready and in the mindset, and also give me the opportunity to do something I totally forgot up till now on the back end, I'm going to go ahead and let you all explain to each other and myself what you are planning, or how you are planning, and how are you getting ready for said engagement. What is the forward momentum? Because if you recall, the plan was to attack in the morning as the hit came at night. All right, I'm done talking. I'll leave the table to you as you will.
Quothus gathers his hunters in the guild hall and gives a very shoddy speech about how I don't know what will meet us on the other end of the bridge, fellas, but we've been called. We have to serve, and let's just stick to the forest like we can, shoot from being unseen, and try and make it out of here alive. We'll leave the heavy lifting to Lady Alcantara and her men, and them Twilight Knights, but we'll pepper them as we can. Stay alive. Come back home. I don't want any more wakes for a while.
Lady Alcantara in a room. Put Quothus and forces at front. No cover. No, I was thinking in actuality, probably what it was like for Alcantara was a somewhat uneasy night's rest, waking up in the morning, donning her like armor again. Doesn't add anything to AC, just looks flashy because, you know, leader, you gotta look impressive, right? And then just sort of like going out, just sort of having like last minute talks with each of the sort of like units or like, you know, whoever's in charge, just to make sure that things are set up before heading out.
Okay. The 15 soldiers that you're leaving behind have basically taken up garrison in the main dwarven fortification on your edge of the bridge. They are prepared to drop, block, and set defense if they're called to do so. They are looking for a very specific signal, mind you. And they have basically instructed Cyril to devise that signal, which, again, your magical priority, you have the spell Prestidigitation, I presume?
Nope.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
What cantrips do you have out of curiosity?
Chill Touch, Firebolt, Mage Hand, Message, Minor Illusion.
We could use Firebolt as a sort of flare effect, John.
No babies.
Or did he walk away from his computer?
He just gave up. Hey, what kind of wizard are you?
Just kidding. He has Firebolt. We could use that as
Okay.
a flare, John.
Perfect. Then that'll be what it is. If they see a firebolt in the sky from the bridge, they will know to drop the walls. Or if they're told to by someone passing by the gates. Okay, continue.
continue with us describing how we're preparing.
Yes.
Yeah, so Cyril would get up quite early. He would be writing in his at his writing desk, taking note of his dreams that he had the night before, sort of trying to interpret them. There would be a cup of tea that would be down to the dregs, and there's some dark greenish leaves that are spread out on the table that he's trying to read as he's chanting, looking over books, trying to find a possible advantage for the battle to come.
I was disemboweled in my dream last night. What could that mean?
Means you're dead.
I think it means good luck.
All right. The captain of the watch, whose name is escaping me right at this second, he and his 40 Twilight Knights prepare. Their armor is the same as it's always been, which has always been flashy, and it's what they wear all the time because that's how they roll. And if I remember correctly saying, their battle rating is 20. And the morale...
You mean Novinger Elendril?
Correct. Gain inspiration.
I think we actually all have it at this point, right?
Well, then spend an inspiration, and then gain it again.
Can't you? Isn't the rule that you have that you, if you already
No.
have it, you gain XP?
No.
No. Okay.
That was during the guild game.
Thanks for trying, Andy.
Yep.
No worries.
Let's see. All right. And Novinger's aura is yellow. All right. Cool. Anybody else have anything that they want to do preparatory wise? You will all note that last night Halo kind of went to the temple, and in the morning you'll note that Halo has successfully basically drawn up all of the people from the temple and a lot of people from the working quarters of this town, and is already migrating them southwards out of the town. They're heading to Ascari Yanwi, as was the plan.
Protected by Asher and his hunters.
Well, Asher and the hunters are attempting to find out what's inside of the bowels of that town. But yeah.
Leaf would wake up and he would get together his combat outfit, which is very streamlined. He would have a couple extra picks stuck in his belt, to flip up if he needs to, and his he'd be just getting ready to play some really inspiring songs that everybody would love, kind of like an AC/DC Thunderstruck type song. He'd be just ready to inspire the whole forces.
I don't think that's accurate at all. I think that's more your speed. Anyways, Dan, as we discussed,
Hey, John, I'd like to point out we have a music channel.
Oh, don't you start with me.
I feel like nobody uses that.
Get the hell out of my life. How dare you use my own words against me? Okay. Dan, you prepare your crew and anything in particular you want to do as you set yourself up.
I would just get ready.
Yeah, your crew doesn't have any special outfits or attire. Fitz is always looking sleek, if that's still a thing that's said by the youngsters. Or if I even said it correctly. I don't know. I'm a million years old. Okay, so then, let's see. Who am I missing? Nobody? Great. Let's roll initiative. Your initiative for your unit, if you have one, is your charisma modifier. So just make a charisma check.
I thought it said initiative was...
Is it leadership? Is it the same? Is it level plus?
10 plus unit morale rating plus commander's charisma modifier.
Oh, okay, so it's static. Perfect. Then you know what? For the duration, we'll go ahead and use that for... here we go, hold on. All right.
Hey guys, I have 9.
Alcantara, yours is
I already calculated it.
okay.
It'd be 21 if it's 10 plus morale, which you said was a flat 0 plus leadership, right?
I think it's just plus charisma modifier.
Yeah.
So
Oh, plus charisma modifier. I thought you'd said plus leadership, so it's 15 then.
yeah.
My bad.
So I think Dan's is 12. And-
Leadership.
No, not leadership. It's just 10 plus your charisma modifier plus your morale ranking.
And that only really is going to mean anything to the Twilight Knights, because...
Yep. We're on 17. All right.
Perfect, I go last.
Okay. So we'll assume that they were actually a space ahead. They're going to advance. They're not going to quickly advance unless they're ordered to do so. You should have control of their token. You as a team should be able to manipulate that. The only time that I will require you to not do that is if I make a call and tell you that the unit would actually act in a different fashion. But as for now, they're moving forward, and if you want them to move forward faster, they will.
At this point, I'm going to say... Let's move a little bit faster, yeah, just cause, just until we're in sight to figure out, just so that we can close the gap
Sure.
sooner.
All right. Perfect. It's your initiative. Alvin, you can start from any point on the left side of the map. Your choice.
I'll start on the bottom.
Okay. All right.
If we're moving quickly, that should be approximately right.
Okay. And then
Malvin in his airship.
Alvin's in his airship. Yeah. Yeah. And a quick note on that, Dan, your bubble is 3-dimensional, so I know this is going to be a bit hard to visualize, but understand that you can see directly beneath you a lot easier than you can see directly out and away from yourself, because you're above it and you just have to look straight down, whereas if you're looking out at something, things can block your line of sight. So that said, when you're thinking of your position in spatial relation, if you are at ground level, you're seeing as everyone else is seeing 5,000 feet out. But if you are higher up, you're seeing a little bit. So you probably want to be about 1,000 feet off the ground, not too much higher. Is that acceptable for an altitude, or do you want to be higher than that?
I don't want to be that high. I'd like to be able to dip down below the trees if I needed to.
Okay. So then you're going to be 1 hex basically, right on the ground level, like everyone else is.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Blair.
I don't know how this works. Okay, I will... Oh, why is it moving everything? Blast! I'm trying to do the thing where you can see your movement, but...
Q.
Okay. So I click and I hold Q. I hold Q and then I move.
No.
You move and you hit Q on when your token's on a square.
It's not doing anything. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I guess we didn't go 6, but that's okay.
Okay. All right, Novinger. However you please.
Oh, are you talking to me?
You as a table.
Okay.
Charge!
Well, I
think
want to
if he moves-
see...
If you move 6, that might actually... You should be then in vision of the fortification.
Yeah, I mean, that would put me in vision of the fortification, right?
You kind of want it to be toward the middle of it. I'd say 1 more up. 1 more in. Diagonal right.
What, right there, Isk?
Up. Diagonal
second.
right.
I started off here.
No, you started right next to you.
thought that's where, or was it right there?
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose from there you should be fine, I guess.
I mean, the circle's overlapping some of the squares that the thing's in, so I wasn't entirely sure.
Perfectly acceptable. That's fine, I guess. You would see that there does appear to be a unit manning the higher portions of parapets of this massive sky-falling fortification. Looks like there's 10 of them. Only 10, but they look like they are the same type of construct that you and your small group had problems with. And it does look like 2 apiece are manning the Arbalists, so it seems that their unit is specifically for siege countering. And with that, we'll go ahead and start the fun times. Alright, so Alcantara.
I'm just trying to keep somewhat pace with them.
I assume Dan has the roll 20 music off. He'd be smiling if he had it on. He's not smiling, so he doesn't have it on.
Oh, there we go.
Everybody just starts walking in place. So Alcantara moves up. Alvin, you're up.
Let me check my range. I mean, I got 10. Can I shoot a large ballista at it?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, what does the structure look like? Is it like,
Dwarvish.
should we try and call a shot or just?
There's no real calling shots. You're attacking the unit. You're not
Okay.
attacking the fortification. Unless you're attacking the fortification. Why is it whispered?
I have no idea.
And why are you rolling your...
You made this character sheet.
Yeah, why are you rolling an attack roll with your ship? That's not how this works. Go...
I literally clicked the action.
Yeah, no.
It's in the character sheet.
Not what we're doing. We're in mass combat. That's for if we're doing one-on-one engagements. That's if you're shooting in D&D combat. So in mass combat, if you go to your information that I sent you, you'll note that you're rolling a d20 and you are adding your battle rating, which for your ship,
So 14 plus.
it's gonna be static 10.
Okay. So 24.
All right. So you need to hit a DC of 15, and you succeeded. 24 is not 11 higher, so that will do base damage, which
It's 2.
it lowers the unit's battle rating by 2, and does not break the unit. All right.
Okay. So I can. It says on the character sheet that I can do 2 actions, but I can only do the 1. Correct.
Don't look at the character sheet for now.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is my movement. And I'm gonna go down between, like under the bridge for cover.
Okay. Perfectly acceptable. All right.
Man, if you just had rolled a 16, you would have had 11 higher.
Wish I can give you my port and roll, but I can't.
Bear with me here. I'm sorry. Checking something.
Would have been an important time to use it.
Ha 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 ha.
Lose inspiration.
All right. Cool. Alaire, you are up.
Oh, yay, me! Since... Oh, fart, let's try it. This bad boy, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm trying to make a dash to the tree line. Gain cover.
All right. Okay, and all right, adding to the initiative. All right. So, utilizing the arbalists that they have. I believe I've got them in range. All right. The Arbalest unit fires in towards Novinger's unit. As it does so, you see the Twilight Knights raise their shields up. Pretty decent sized bolts come from the Dwarvish Arbalists. and kind of hit into the stone. It looks like there is no casualties, no damage to Novinger's unit at all. Novinger's up.
Nice.
Right, so they're inside the fortification, so as you said, they've got advantage, we have disadvantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, guys, what do you think? Should we try any sort of actual assault, or...
I mean, otherwise we're just standing around playing with ourselves, waiting to get hit by ballista. One thing to note is with advantage, disadvantage, advantage, the defender is adjacent to at least one enemy unit other than the attacker. So if you guys both get up on it, that may counteract the disadvantage you'll have to attack it.
So how it's working is the 5 hexes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes that kind of form like a circle at the base of that fortification. That is the unit's current position. So you cannot move into a space that has the fortification on it unless you are explaining how you're doing so. Like if the airship flew down and landed on top, then I could say that'd be fine. But because of the nature of this current contest, you would be attacking up at the thing, and the presumption is that you're doing so with minor range attacks, javelins,
Okay.
attempting to move into the fortification through defense points and fighting in that way. And that's what
Okay.
that narrative would be. So, no, it's not just a massive fortification that's basically empty. There's like 4 helm towers that are at the top, and there's 6 that are somewhere inside.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So,
And I'm assuming if we move inside, it's not like we can necessarily move full forces inside all at once, sort of a thing.
right. And real quick, I'm going to do a quick doodle dab.
I like doodle dads.
Vertically inspired. Let's kick some ass.
If that helps you visualize it,
A little bit better, yeah.
those hexes are it.
Yeah, that helps a little bit more than just the
Understandable.
image. And you said movement is 3 unless
Right.
charging, which is like 6. I mean, I guess moving up and seeing if we can attack / find a way inside the fortress is the best move that we got right now, right, guys?
You're asking the wrong person here.
There's 10 of those things in there, and one of them seemed to eat through the.
Keep in mind, your actions can be attack is an action, dash is an action. We've already discovered those two. Defend is an action, which means that any unit that attacks you, they have disadvantage on their BR check. Disengage is if your unit is adjacent to a unit. Normally, you're locked and you cannot move. There is no movement allowed. But if you want to disengage, which is effectively like a drawing up for retreat, you make a morale check. If you fail it, you hold your position. If you succeed it, you move half your speed away from the contest. And then guard is the ability that allows you to anything that moves adjacent to you, you immediately attack it on sight.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I would like to do if we can is somehow draw them out a little bit. I feel like if we can get them out of the fortification, we have a better chance at doing this. So what I'm going to do here, actually, I'm moving. What?
I think he was belching.
Okay. I was thinking of moving him there and putting him on. You said it's defense is what?
Defend is the action you want to take for basically dodge.
Yeah, disadvantage on their attacks, on their
Right.
BR.
And then other direction, same thing. Trying to, I figure, spread out attention somewhat.
Perfect. Alvin.
Another thought If they come after you, if they sort of, you could literally pull back and see if they'll exit the structure.
Well, the other thing too is I'm getting it so that we can actually be on land, so that like our retreat is not just on the bridge.
Real quick note for you, Dan. I know what you're trying to do, and the map again being strange is you're obviously not playing the game of looking at it as a three-dimensional space. So let me make sure you understand. You went underneath the bridge.
No, I flew down. I flew down and underneath, and now I'm literally doing a U up around the other side.
Right. So that means that you're going to have to effectively use the same amount of speed to get out and up to a position where you can.
Correct. I've only moved 3 squares horizontally.
So you'll be moving at least 3
So
more.
I moved 3,
to get
and then I'm
to
going to
this-
move.
Well, 2 more to get to the same height that you were firing from, because you were at the height of the bridge.
Right.
So
I actually want to go taller than the tower.
okay, then it'd be the rest of your movement to do it.
Okay, that'll give me advantage, right?
No.
It says in the
Won't
rule
give you
book if you're
disadvantage.
above them that you have advantage.
Where does it say
It
that?
says attacking.
She's on higher ground, such as uphill from the defender.
No, that's
I'm
for
above them.
no, that's for specifically like engaging melee to melee. Shooting and firing, it's still same defenses.
Did the last bolt do anything? Did it damage the structure? Did it Did it miss?
So don't try to think of it in terms of hit points. Yes, you hit.
what does it seem like it's worth the investment of my ballistas?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I literally did the shot and I didn't know if it did anything.
Right, and remember,
It did 2 damage.
real quick, I do want to make sure too. The Arbalist you have unlimited ammo from. The ballistas you still.
I'm using the ballista.
Okay, so you still only have the 4 shots from before.
That's
So-
why I'm wondering if I should keep using the ballista. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, you have 3 remaining. So yeah, then if you want to, again, it does look like you did the most damage that's been done to them, and that's some instead of none.
Why don't you roll out in the open, Dan? We can give you the advantage. Maybe we could use inspiration to get the better roll, no?
John, and I mean, does he see ballistas on? Oh my goodness,
Okay.
that was a good roll.
Okay, yeah, that hits. So that hits by 11 or more. The attacker scores a heavy casualty on the target. So my BR is reduced by 5. And morale check.
Morale check, yeah.
Success. I can't fail that check.
Right.
So, that said, yeah, that looked like a pretty damaging hit. So, a quick note, just so you understand the nature of this. At the beginning of this, I explained to the people who have units to put numbers on their tokens, right? The number that would be your battle rating is effectively your unit's hit point total. This is how able you are to function with your unit based on damages that you've received. These are superficial damages to begin. Once a battle rating is reduced completely, it soaks down into the numbers. So once battle rating is gone, we determine what remains by saying, can this battle rating of 0 be formulated by anything else? If not, the unit's crushed. If the commander can substantiate itself a challenge rating worth keeping a battle rating, it becomes the remaining portion of the unit fights solo. So there's no commander present here. This is a commanderless unit in a fortification, and they are also automatons, so it's a bit different. Once their battle rating is 0, they're gone. But keep firing, is what I'm trying to say.
I didn't. So since there was no point in me having a high ground on them, I didn't go that much higher in the air.
Okay.
There's no point.
So then you would have gone.
I'll swoop back down under the bridge.
No, incorrect. You moved out 3 to get back up to level. You had to go up 5. So to get back down into like just where you're at that level would require the last of your movement. So you don't go under the bridge. You go next to the bridge, but at water level. Again. Yeah, you were at with your first shot. You were at bridge level. Then you dropped underneath the bridge, which is lower. So, right. Ulaire.
Hey, real quick, just for is it just arbalists that are on top of the thing, or were there ballistas as well? I forgot.
Arbalist.
Okay.
4 of them.
Alright, so then I go, let's see, I'm right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm in the brush.
All right. In your action? Oh, it was dash. Okay.
Yeah, it was dash. I was trying to get out of, I'm trying to be, not technically stealth yet, but.
Shooting the elves.
Which elves?
The ones that look like they're a formidable force. Actually, that would be you at this point.
I'm hurt. Oh, never mind. I'm offended that you'd attack me.
Yeah, that would
Would this
be.
just be a normal attack then, since they took the defense
It
action?
should be a normal attack, I believe. That's why I was trying to take the.
Right. So, again, the arbalists, real quick, the arbalists are different than firing out are different than
Gotcha. Sorry.
combat. So, there's no advantage for me shooting at him. I'm not getting a benefit from shooting him from a fortification. Just like if Dan were to build a castle on the bridge right now for some magical reason and shoot at me from it, he wouldn't get advantage from his castle. It's just normal shooting. The ballista is on its own regular deal. So, and Arbalest as well. So I'm just shooting him straight, which means I have disadvantage. Shooting
I
a
was
contra.
checking through. I don't see on Alvin's thing that he can just make a castle. That
No,
one that you didn't write down.
it's not. I didn't write that one down.
It's a special item.
Oh, okay.
Again, a spell that actually exists that might actually serve in mass combat.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
It's like my favorite spell.
They're firing at you, El Contra. So that said, the target number to hit you is 15, and I got a 17. So it means I hit. Your battle rating will be reduced by 2.
So that's the 90, right?
Right.
Down to 88.
Oh, no, I see. Hold on. Okay.
Or
I get it. Okay. So you've dealt a total of 7 damage to my battle rating. And each one of my guys... I get it now. Okay. So...
I'm glad one of us does.
Great. How much did I do to your battle rating just now? 2,
You
right?
said you did 2.
Okay. So you need to kill off, reduce your unit size by a number equal to the amount that would relate to that. So you need to kill off 20 guys, right? No, 10 guys. So your 90 is now an 80.
Can we just do Thaco? I feel like Thaco would be so much simpler, John.
It sounds like it. This is overcomplicated, but I think I got it now. So yeah, when you dealt 7 total, you've killed off 3 of the 10 that are in there. Does that help you imagine it, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. You've killed 3 of the weird constructs with your ballista shots. Alright, that's it for them. They're done. It goes to the Twilight Knights, who I assume are moving in, right?
Yeah, that was going to be the plan.
Okay. So then go ahead and... Go ahead.
Yeah, I moved them up. What necessarily, like... Because I'm still a little fuzzy on, like, what they can do now that they're up at...
They can attack the unit that's inside of it, or a unit that's inside of it. Their choice, or defender's choice if commander's present. So it'll be a straight fight between the Helm Horror unit and his unit. And with that being said, you'll roll a d20. You'll actually roll it with disadvantage because you are attacking a unit inside of a fortification, and they will make a defense roll, battle rating, with advantage.
I'm just going to roll 2 d20s,
That's good, and add,
and then we'll just...
and you'll add 20.
Right, so it'll be a total of 30.
All right. And my roll is 27. Bad roll. Real bad roll. Okay.
So...
You win by more or less than 11. So go ahead and do 2 to my battle rating. Which
Matt, do you want me to make that so doesn't my ability allow that to be an 11 or more?
Only for Matt's unit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this is the Twilight Knight unit.
Got it.
right. So again, remathing, because I actually said the wrong number of killed for Dan. It would have actually been 1 dead for Dan, and 1 damaged, and then you would have finished off another. So 21 battle rating, where it started at a 30 for the Helmed Horrors, because there are 10 challenge rating 4s. Got it. 21 means that there's 7 remaining.
Wow.
Got the math. I think I got the math. I don't know why I did this to myself.
I don't know why you did this to yourself either, but you know.
I wanted to try something new and different. Okay, so Alcantara, you're up. Looks like you also have access to move up and attack if it's your desire.
Yeah, why not? So slightly different angle.
Same rolls. So yeah, you'll be rolling with disadvantage, and they'll be rolling with advantage.
Not if I use 3 of my inspiration though. I can get a flat roll then, right?
No, if you use 3 of your inspiration, you get bardic inspiration, so you can add a
Right.
dice to the roll.
Okay, I'm going to do that just because.
Real,
Well,
Real
actually, no.
quick.
I'm going to hold off on that.
is it possible like now would be a good time to use Andy's 16? Because that's likely to succeed since they only have a 3 higher battle rating than you right now. 21 versus 18.
So the other ability he has that he can use Portent for is he can change just a regular hit to a critical hit.
Right.
So it's up to Andy what he wants to do here in helping, but he has to decide before the roll is made.
Right. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Or
'Cause also-
no, sorry, not before the roll is made. Before the roll's result is determined. So if Matt rolls his dice,
You have to tell me the number, right? Oh.
you can
Oh.
see the dice results. You just can't. I can't tell you if it's successful or not.
Yeah, and then we basically have to figure out from there what to do.
Right.
So I'm going to roll 2 dice.
In case you roll 2 20s and it's not needed.
I'm assuming my. Just as a. This is another technical question. I'm assuming my DM inspiration does not work to cancel out disadvantage, right?
The only thing your DM inspiration will do is grant you advantage for a roll. So for this roll, it would be fine. It would get rid of the disadvantage.
Okay, so if I do, and that I can use after I've seen my own results, but before we know the.
Correct.
Okay, because I want to see what the results are first of the 2 die. Not worth spending the inspiration.
Is
Either
it
of
worth
them.
getting 16 though?
You would be increasing it by a factor of 9. So it would go from a currently a 25 to a 30 something.
Real quick, we determined your battle rating was 20. Got it.
It's yeah, because it's 80 divided by 5 right now, so it's 16 plus 7.
Right.
Oh,
Plus
16
it's-
plus 7.
Yeah, because I lost.
Andy and
Plus
Kevin are in your
2.
group.
Well,
So-
Right,
if-
18.
If
without
you make it, sorry.
without spending inspiration, it is currently a 27. If you spend inspiration, it's a 34. If you use Portent, it's a 16 plus 20. It's a 36.
If it's Bardic Inspiration, he rolls a d6 to add to it, right?
If you use your Bardic Inspiration, you add a d6 to the roll. So if you were to use your
Use your
inspiration
yeah,
and then
use your
add
brain.
Bardic Inspiration,
That's to do it. Do that one.
you can do that.
We're Bardic Inspiration, so, keep that in mind.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Wait, real quick. Let's do number crunching though. If we just use Portent,
Nah.
if we were to just use Portent, that's a 16. You have a 27. You're now at a 25. You're 4 higher than their 21. So no matter what, you'd be breaking even. So then the Bardic Inspiration would push you over the edge where there's no way you could lose. It's just how badly do you get the damage then?
Yeah, but do you want to save the Portent for 2 really bad rolls where we
Yeah,
really want?
I feel like the Portent, if we can hold on to that for a while, because that one's just really strong.
Okay.
And we have a whole bunch of inspiration amongst us to share. So like, why not take that 14
We-
plus the?
Yeah, we have a total of 9 inspiration to share, basically.
Well,
But the thing is, for Kevin's thing, I feel like I'd have to accumulate some of them, which would be over a couple of turns.
That's bardic inspiration versus regular inspiration. You have 6 or 5 inspiration on the table. You have
Yeah.
however much bardic inspiration between the two bards. But yeah, that said, just Matt, only Matt thinking out loud. A lot of people have thrown their advice in. I just want to go ahead and get this moving a little bit.
Right. So if I use the hold on a second though, I thought that if I used the DM inspiration right now, that would just cancel out the disadvantage.
Correct.
Right.
So yeah, you're stuck with the 7 regardless.
No, I'm stuck with a 7 regardless, which is why I'm thinking it's not the greatest to use that. Right
Okay.
now, I've got what, a +8? Is it a +16 or a +18 on this? I'm getting confused because I've got
Your battle rating.
Kevin and
Whatever your battle rating would
right
be.
battle
current.
rate.
So it should be 80 divided by 5 plus 2.
Okay, right. So it's 18
Okay,
because I adjusted the one number and didn't adjust the other one.
got it.
So it's 7, 18, 25. I could give myself a die or like a bardic inspiration, but that's not a guarantee. So I'm sorry. This is just, again, I'm just trying to make sure I've got all of the rules of how this is working. They roll at advantage to defend themselves.
You bet.
Right. So chances are pretty good that they're going to beat me, seeing as I beat them last time, and you said last time they had a 27, and that was bad rolls.
Mm-hmm. Something like
So,
that.
I think I'm going to hold off on adding anything on top of this because of the fact that if you were saying that was a bad roll,
Mm-hmm.
chances are they're going to beat me pretty handedly. So throwing anything else into this right now is just wasting resources at this point from my perspective. So I'm going to just leave it as is, and maybe we'll get lucky, but probably not.
Yep, target wins. So it has no effect. The attack is blocked formidably by the fortification and the remaining 7 helm quarters. All right. Alvin.
So I think I would do the same thing. I mean,
Pop out,
seems to
shoot,
be the-
pop down.
Yeah.
Are you using your ballista again? This will be your set.
I mean, I have 3 left.
No, you have 2 left. You fired 2 already. You had 4
I
to
thought you
start.
said I had 3 after I fired the last one.
No, I said you had 3 before you decided to fire the last one.
Okay. I guess I'll. Is anything else really happening in the fort, or I mean, it seems like I'm the only one that's getting able to do anything currently.
It
Right?
looks like the Novinger's forces are doing pretty well.
Well, I mean, I don't want to use all of the ballistas, and I'm not getting in close for the arbalists. So, I guess I'll hang out under the bridge, or maybe scout.
That's a possibility. Yeah, if you'd like to move somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll just stay low on the shoreline,
Okay.
and then move like down the shore.
One more. All right. Boulay.
So right now, if I were to attack, I'd be attacking with disadvantage, correct?
Correct, because you're attacking from cover. I believe we've got a for sure. Zach will not be here for the session. I feel.
I'm going to stealth and move over here. So I'm still in cover, but now they don't know where I am.
Sure. And you said you're stealthing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so it'll go to them. No longer capable targets for the arbalists. They're going to just regular defend attack. I am going to face off against the weaker of the 2 forces based on the results of the last 2 engagements. So, Alcantara, go ahead and roll a d20 and add your battle rating.
Andy, do we want to do that?
Yep. So let's go ahead and use Cyril's portent ability.
Well, hold on a second. Let me, because I need to roll 2 20s, and again, I'm at disadvantage for this, right?
Correct.
So let's see what these results are. So that's another
7.
7. So this would basically be a possibility of us being. Well, yeah, your call on this, Andy.
Well, can you add the bardic inspiration die to it?
I think I can only do that on attacks, right?
You can do it on any roll.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
In that case, yeah. Let's see if I roll a d6.
Oh fudge.
So it's an 8. So yeah, your call on that.
If you give
Do you-
John a 7, he still wins.
yeah,
but-
that's what I thought.
It's only two more damage. If you give Matt the 16, there's a chance he maybe wins.
Yeah.
Well-
Do you want the 16?
It might be best for. Anyway, I'm out of here. It's not my business.
Yeah, he still adds the +1, but
Right. It'd be a 17 then. But then, I don't know. They could still roll high.
I mean, the advantage of the well, yeah, they could still roll high because it would be 17 plus my unit, so that would be what, 35? Yeah, that would be 35 total.
So we're done?
So we're gonna use the 16.
Okay.
Again, all right. So I'm letting you make that call, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and use the 16 on this roll.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So if you use 16, that'll add to the 18 that you currently have, and your number is superior to their result. So you defend yourself against their assault. All right.
Okay.
Moving on, Novinger, seeing potential opening here. Go ahead and roll a d20. Roll 2d20, and same thing. This will be added 20 from Novinger's unit.
Sorry, they're attacking his unit 2.
Yeah.
So same thing.
All right. So
I mean,
the 17 is what we're going with. Plus 20, so we're looking at a total of 37, and the horrors. Ooh. All right. So that is not defeating it by 11, just normal defeat. So the battle rating for the horrors descends by 2. And Novinger seems to be able to get small aggresses here. All right, good deal. Alcantara, your time for attack. So you'll roll 2d20 and add
well,
your.
hold on a second. I
Go
was going to ask though 2 questions with
Shoot.
that. In terms of the natural 20, does that do anything in additional in combat? Like, is that a critical hit no matter what, like in normal combat?
No, there's no crits.
Okay.
It does have the potential
other-
of exceeding the attack or the defender's result by 11 or more. Do you want to spend
Right.
the inspiration for that? It's only 3
Well, that was
days.
going to be my other question: is can I spend the inspiration for that?
You could. Sorry, I did move a little too fast. I didn't tell you what the result was on my end, so it's still a little bit nebulous. You do know a 17 hits, so it's not compelling you to roll it for that. But do you want to try to see if it's high enough?
Well, we have 5, technically 6 more of those if you give me 2. I'm not expecting you to do that. Yeah, sure, I'm going to do that. I'll use mine to see if we get lucky.
Okay, your inspiration. That will actually cause them to descend 5 instead of 2,
Hey!
and they automatically succeed the morale check. All right. So Alcantara, it's your up. Their battle rating is descended, so it does look like Novinger is bringing up openings during their conflict with the Helmed Horrors at the base of the fortification. If you are assaulting the fortification still, go ahead and make your attack roll.
You might want to use another bardic inspiration for that.
Well, if I do that, I'm going to need one of Leaf's,
Yeah.
because I only have 5 total. But yeah, sure, I'll attack. So let's see. I don't think it's worth wasting the bardic inspiration on that, Andy.
Yeah. Agree.
That's just a classic miss, is what that is. All right.
I think you missed there.
Just a good old-fashioned classic misseroo.
So with
All right.
I don't think that hits.
Continuing the scouting situation, you've got 8 squares of movement if you'd like it. Hold on. You see a small force of dwarves located just outside of what appears to be a massive keep or tower that's in ruins. It looks like they're set up in camp, and it looks like they are basically kind of a watch crew looking out to the sea. At that point, you would know that they see you just as well as you see them. You would also note that they have 3 ballistas on the shore in defensible positions, presumably aimed at the water line for shooting down ships. So it does look like they're going to have to recalibrate the aim. But yeah, since turns are a minute, that's not going to be a problem. There's about 80 dwarves.
Okay. Oh, that's my full movement.
Okay. Ule?
Since we have perfect knowledge of what we all see right now, I ask, should I, after taking a shot, go assist with the dwarves on the shore?
Yeah, that would be... So at the end of initiative round would be when I'd say communications would basically come through. So...
okay, so they haven't gotten yet.
I would say at the end of like a turn, like if something is revealed, the relayer is relaying it. So if you're after him, then yeah, you're fine to know it. That's fine.
Okay, so I take a shot, and then I can... Okay, well, so if I'm attacking from stealth, so it's just a straight d20 roll then?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have advantage. Okay.
Yeah, against the fortification, that's right.
So I got a 10 total. I'm likely not to hit.
Okay.
I don't think I can hit.
No, yeah, it's impossible for you to have hit on that.
Alright, I'm going to move south out of the way anyway, so that if needed, I can move back into range to shoot again. But I'm just going to take initiative to head that way so I can potentially get in range next turn. With the, I've now sent out communications you'll get at the end of the round. Actually, now, should I go assist on the shoreline?
And yeah, you're probably getting relayance back. Alvin, are you looking for assistance on the shoreline?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if the fort looks okay, I mean, I might not even stay here.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, good point. Real quick, on your end, Dan, what is your charisma modifier?
I think it's +2.
Okay, so then you will be going before the dwarfs on the shore. Alright, so the horrors will continue their defensive assault, attacking into the weaker of the 2 units based on results therein. Go ahead and roll 2d20, Matt, and roll like you're rolling for Novinger instead of yourself. Stop rolling bad for your units. So that 1 would be the one we're going with, unless someone burns inspiration.
Unless someone wants to.
You've already used your
Fire.
inspiration?
Yep.
I have. Yeah.
Okay, I'll spend my inspiration to give him a 15.
Okay. And then do you want to roll...
A bardic would add that higher.
This is
Again,
this is defense,
yeah.
so you're not going to do anything special if you get higher results. So
Okay.
15 plus 18 would be 33, which beats my 31. So you defend. Novinger, 2 dice for the attack. 12 is the result. 12 plus his 20.
So 32.
Ooh, that is the worst thing to see. So, wow. Double.
He's off by 1, isn't he?
Double 4s. So, that's a 20, and you got a 32. So that's going to exceed by.
12.
Yep.
Nice, 5 damage.
Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So
Good thing I spent inspiration to not get that 1.
it looks like there's just a core element of helmed horrors that are basically holding the bottom section of the fortification in a very defensive dwarvish standard bottleneck, and they're doing pretty well. It seems like they're having more gives. There are more gains being made by Novinger's forces than Alcantara's. But in an attempt to shore that up and make it a bit more even, Alcantara, go ahead and give me 2d20 rolls. All right,
That's
so
a 7 and a 9, so that's going to be plus 18 for that.
18
so
plus 7 is
25.
All right. And my result of... I'm not going to tell you. Do you want to do anything augment it?
Use Bardic.
I might as well. Yeah, I'll grab that. I'm out of Bardic Inspiration. Leaf has 3 more.
So Leaf's giving you
And
some?
that's a 6, so that's going to be a 31.
Alright. So Leaf starts rock medaling in the hallways. You can hear it more acoustically inside of the halls of this dwarven fortification. And Alcantara manages to pull through. With your result of 31,
31.
you exceed just barely over the 20 threshold, as I got a 9 for my high dice roll. So that means you will be doing full damage in. Oh, shit. Looks like it's down to 2 Helmed Horrors fighting back to back and pushing outwards, and 2 small bottlenecks in the center mass near the stairwell that goes up. Pretty solid fighting here. Alvin, you go before the ballistas on the shore. Again, it does look like they are prepared to fire, and within their turn would be able to re-aim, adjust, and shoot in the mass combat rules.
I'm gonna swoop down to this square, shoot my arbalists, and then duck out this way, trying to hide behind the behind the foliage.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. Or BR roll.
Just 1d20 or 2.
It's 1d20 for you because you're attacking straight. Alright. Solid enough to hit the... but not 11 over. Let's see. 1 second here. Alright. Yeah, looks like you do a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
Really?
It looks like, yeah, it looks like they're all grouping around the arbalists, or the ballistas rather. So you kind of move to position yourself and fire down into a line of them as you kind of hit that point. Like Fitz hits it, and the dwarven snipers fire through, and you watch as a single arbalist bolt like impales a good 20 of them, or more, with its single shot, and then the next arbalist that kind of fires in this, volley blasts through the rest, and kind of a solid, couple dozen, maybe 3 dozen or so die, and you fly off.
Nice.
All right. You see them basically all centering around their ballistas, and it looks like they are in a very strange posture, a preparatory posture. You know that if you move within range of them, or sight of them, or if anyone does around the coast, they will get a free shot.
Yeah, but if I swoop around behind them.
Yep, from the tree line. Absolutely. Playing the smart man. Uller?
Alright, I don't think I can actually get in range, but we'll try 1, 2,
You can shoot
3.
through terrain, remember. I think they're outside of
that?
1. You can shoot through difficult terrain. You're normal.
Right, but I only have a range of 3 hexes, right? And
Yeah.
they're 5,000 feet away. So I have to get 2 more spots.
Fair. Alright.
Oh, if that's the case, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dash, because
Yeah.
that doesn't break stealth, right?
No.
And then I'll just move to here, so they don't know I'm there, and I can shoot them next turn and move away.
Yep. The Helmed Horrors just rolled so bad that it wouldn't be able to exceed either of your battle ratings. So they are fighting the dying battle there. Novenger looks like he has the first opportunity for the death blow. Go ahead and roll your 2d20. 2, they still have advantage despite everything. And 2 plus 20 beats anything.
22.
Oh no! Ha ha ha! Nailed it. I got a 23.
Ah, you bastard!
They managed to push Novenger back with the last ounce of strength they have. Alcantara, same roll.
Beat a 4, you bitches! 4 plus 18.
I did
22.
I did not. I did not. So you do not defeat them by 11.
Wait, but doesn't he automatically? Oh, this is Novenger?
No.
No.
I have-
He's-
Yeah, I have a
he's
battle
still got
rating
two
of
defensive rolls.
I had a battle rating of 6, so I still get to make my rolls. And I got a 23 on the last one versus Novenger. And then on this one, I only got a 14. So you got a 4 plus 18, 22.
It's a 22.
It's
the
success.
exact same roll as
So
as
you,
Novinger made.
yeah, you dealt 2 battle rating damage to this unit. So it looks like the one on your side is really messed up, but still standing. All right, Alvin.
When I was like shooting them with the arbalist, and I got closer, I assume I could see more, right?
Yeah.
How many arbalists did they have? Like how many
They
ballistas
have
did they have?
3, like I mentioned.
They had 3 there. Okay, cool. I'm
And
sorry.
they're ballistas, just ballistas, no arbalists here.
And I'm moving half movement over the trees.
No, you move 8. You're not flying in the trees, are you?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, then your ship crashes, and that's an easy choice. Hold on. You see what appears to be a dwarvish force moving down the road towards the fortification. It looks like they're moving quite quickly. There are 400 in this unit.
Okay, so it's a large unit.
The maximum capacity for a
Okay.
unit.
I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna change targets. We're gonna shoot the ballista.
All right, hold on.
The ballista with an AC of 100.
Oh gosh, you're gonna spear so many dwarves.
Using the ballista?
Yeah. If it's a huge force,
Oh, it's massive.
yeah, I need to hit it with the ballista. I mean it. Yeah. I think
There's also
so.
ballistas on the shoreline that if we take them out, you get more ammo.
That's what I was thinking too. That's why I was wondering how many they had there.
It'll take you 5 rounds just to load that shit.
Right, not like for this fight, but like for future endeavors.
Sure.
So 20.
20 is your result. Okay. They have a battle rating that exceeds that, so no roll necessary. Oh, no, sorry. You're shooting ballistas. Battle roll rating doesn't matter. 20 hits because you're firing down and through the trees. As mentioned, your difficulty is higher, and I believe 20 is the target number you needed. Checking my notes.
I'm pretty sure 20 is what he needed looking at it, because
Yep.
you said 20 if the unit is in difficult terrain.
So dead on. You'll be doing 2 battle rating damage, which means that 40 more
Did
down.
they get a morale check?
Not on
No,
that
it
roll, no.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, not for a ballista.
All right, so it looks like your ballista bolt, you kind of see the line, it's kind of marching in column. You kind of move the ship ballista, and Fitz kind of like triggers it, like getting the nose to point down line. Yeah. And then the dwarven shot goes firing, and it's like a lance through like a wave. You can just watch as dwarves basically just disappear from this line across the wave. You then start hearing like loud horns bellowing in reactionary to that. And it's very loud. It's loud enough that even in the din, fighting in the fortification, you can hear the horns blaring. The same's true on your side of the coastline there, Ulair. You're pretty sure that most people on this island can hear the horns that just reactionarily blared from that. All right. They move on the same initiative as the others, so they will continue their movement.
And I'll relay what the horn is and everything.
All right. That's them. The ones on the other side, seeing that the ship has gone away, basically take and use their turn to defend instead of ready to shoot. They're now on the defensive, not sure where an attack will come from. Ulair?
Ulair sends out a message. I hope if the Nadrasi are still alive, they hear that horn and come a fighting. And also these dwarves look like they're defending now. Anyway, I'm going to take a shot, and since I have advantage, but they're giving disadvantage, correct? Because they're defending.
Yep, so it's just
a
normal.
straight roll. All right. Roll 1d20 plus 3. 15 total.
Okay. My result is...
You should still roll 2d20s for
No.
inspiration, right?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Well, no, because if there's advantage and disadvantage, they cancel out anyway.
Sure.
Not
right,
for
right.
with inspiration, does it?
No, yeah. So you can't get double advantage. Good point, Tim. Good
Oh.
call. So that said, you hit, and your group starts firing arrows, and the 15 of you see the 40 of them kind of in their defensible position, but it looks like they're defending more from the shore to the south than the woods that you're in. So as you start lancing them through, you're able to just take the whole time to continue to get the opportunity, and as they try to move, you're effectively breaking their route and killing them all.
Yes!
Alright?
Yes! I killed the first unit! First blood.
Oh,
I relay that for once it's done other people's turns.
yeah.
In
Awesome.
the exact
Captain.
same tone as from Unreal Tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
First blood.
If I kill another unit,
Multi-kill.
Mega kill.
The horror and his broken up friend.
I also get movement.
Sure, go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna continue fighting for my position in the fortification. I'm gonna fight.
You will be exterminated.
I'm gonna fight Alcantara. Go. Oh yeah, this is a good roll. I like it. I might. Oh.
Plus 18.
Nothing happens.
Plus 18, bitch.
No, Vidger. I was hoping you roll bad, like you keep on doing.
Roll good when it counts, baby. Alright,
What the fuck?
oh, sorry, I hit D100 by accident. That's what that was. Ignore that.
All right.
2 12s.
Yeah, that gets through.
So that's, yeah, 32.
Yeah, it gets through and doubles over. So that will be enough to destroy the horrors inside of the fortification.
So,
Okay.
as a quick question, do we know these guys are coming?
Yes.
You would have been told that the dwarfy column is moving up the road. Correct.
So then could we basically take over this fortification?
To do so, you will need a leader to hold it with a force. So that said, if you want to be the leader with your unit and take it, that's fine. Your action will be fortifying. It's your turn next, so your action.
Could he leave Leaf there with some units?
You could also split your unit now as an action, and then Leaf can use his action as a commander to fortify, if that's your decision. You will lose Leaf's ability, but before you lose it, you could always ask him to dump his Bardic Inspiration into you. Leaf cannot use his Bardic Inspiration like you've been doing to augment your unit's rolls.
I mean, for the time being, I think it's better to stay together as.
Leaf, this isn't your foray. Remember, you're I won't say that out loud. I'll post it in the side chat.
Hey, what are you gonna say? It's that bad? You can't say it out loud?
I'm saying it to you. It's secret times.
He's basically just telling you that you're a spy.
Not
We all know
disparaging
this.
me.
I figured this out a long time ago.
If you want to say
That's
something racist, just say it on the stream, man.
No.
Say it on the.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, again, you're.
If you want me to say that out loud, I can say that out loud. But yeah,
I'm busting you. I'm busting you, man.
fair enough. But yeah, Noviger's done. Noviger can still move his 3 if he wants.
Well, the question is, can he move through the fort? Like, even if he's not fortifying, can he move through there to, aka, get slightly faster over to this side?
Fort's difficult terrain, so yeah, moving
Okay.
in and around the fort. I would say with his success in destroying the unit, he would have one in already if he wants to, and then he could move through it out that way.
That I feel like would slow things. 1, 2, 3.
It would slow it down quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to just have him go around outside.
Around the outside.
Yeah, and then, as I said, for my turn, I do think I'm going to move my units inside.
And fortify? Okay. So
And
that,
then I'm assuming from there, if I need to, I can split part of my units off and put them under, like, Leaf if I need to, right?
correct. Now,
Okay.
that said, you currently have a situation where you are fortifying a fortification that has armaments. The problem is your units do not know how to use the armaments.
Right.
Because you have the scholar with you, because you have your advisor. Andy, go ahead and roll me a Arcana check to see if you can muster, or a History check, your choice, to see if you can muster up the knowledge to very quickly instruct this unit to be able to utilize the arbalists. It's a pretty high DC.
Operation ready.
Okay.
Get 2 20s. Get 2.
All right.
I was hoping for
Um,
natural 20s, not
So
regular
anybody
20s.
want to give me a bardic inspiration to add it to the DC? Add it to the roll?
I don't have any more, and
Kevin does.
I do. Can I give him like my DM inspiration?
He doesn't need a DM.
the DM
No,
inspiration.
I need the bardic.
Okay. I give you bardic.
Well,
So-
hold
so
on,
real-
hold
real
on.
quick.
If you give him bardic, that's bardic. That's the only bardic we have for the rest of combat.
Right.
Okay,
we
so
are
we
completely
might not
out.
want to do it.
No, I thought
And-
we had 2 left. I
No,
thought we had 2 left.
because it takes
Guys.
3 bardic inspirations for me to use bardic inspiration on the field,
Also,
and you should
got
only have 3 left. Sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
numbers game. You'd most likely base minimum DC is probably 25. So you would only have a 33% chance of getting the result you need on Bardic Inspiration to possibly learn. It could potentially be higher.
Yeah, so I don't think it's worth it giving the bardic inspiration up at this point.
All right. Well, if that's the case, 20 is not good enough. So someone might be right in their difficulty class assessment. That said,
I mean, I was thinking it was around the same thing, John. I just didn't say it out loud.
real quick, Andy.
I
So
would have hit it.
you are aware, Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, so you're aware. Every turn you can attempt to do this. If you do this for 3 or more turns, after that third time, you have advantage for every their attempt after. So this is first of 3.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
so we still can get this, Andy.
Okay. Sometimes you gotta roll those dice, though.
Absolutely.
I know, but I'm just saying, sometimes tactically it's better to save them when in combat you lose
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ability.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Also,
We would have got it though.
another thing I want to point out too: if you are an operator inside of a combat, you can perform normal function if you are engaged in combat. You didn't do it against the Helmed Horrors. That's fine. It would have gotten complicated because Helmed Horrors have resistances to most UN League's capabilities. But when these dwarfs do come knocking at your door, if you wanted to, like, say, oh, can I sneak in a Burning Hands, like, or can I sneak in a Magic Missile? You can do that. You're rolling against the creature instead of the unit. So you are effectively acting as a D&D character against a very much more massive force. This is
So you will tell me when that is, right?
yes.
Where having Fireball would be really useful.
That will happen. That will happen on Elcontra's turns. But yes, Fireball would be a very useful spell in combat for an
I don't
individual
have
that-
it. I have Firebolt. I have Magic Missile.
These
You
are all-
shatter?
Guys,
I have
Fireball
Chill Touch.
I have
is
Shatter.
such an overhyped spell.
What do we do?
Our Lightning Bolt is another good
I have
one.
Sleep.
Elcontra, you have Fortified. That means you have advantage on all attack rolls against anything that is adjacent to the fortification, and you have everyone who's attacking you has disadvantage, unless they're shooting you with siege weaponry. Alvin.
So if I literally fly over top of them, just dropping like missiles on them the whole time, will that give me advantage?
So if you're firing from directly above them,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah. But in all honesty, the way you're shooting these guys, you probably no.
How do I need to maneuver so that I would have advantage?
See, the way I think of the advantage coming from a higher position isn't so much from shooting targets. It's from having like an advantageous position in like a higher ground. The mass combat rules that you're reading aren't specifying like flying units.
Okay.
It's more of a base to base. I am at a higher vantage point. I have a high ground, Anakin, kind of
Right.
situation. So-
Okay. Well, then if there's really no reason, then I won't fly directly over them. I'll
That's
just
fine.
Strafing.
Yeah. Actually, I'll stay. I know this coast is clear, so I'll just move forward, riddle them with arrows, and then back off.
Okay.
Pew pew pew
Go ahead and give me that D20s.
pew 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 pew.
So 26.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. No. I see what I was doing wrong. The heavy ballista set DC. That allows you to attack from distance, so I do get a roll with this. Okay. The ballista is what you shot last time. That's right. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it, got it. Cool. So this is just our ballists that are shooting now. Okay. So you got a 20... What? 36?
26.
Oh, okay. I see. Alright, so I got a 28. So that means that they basically block the arbalist shots. They're prepared for them.
Okay.
It looks like they're now marching in kind of a phalanx and almost like a turtle shell. They've got their shields up overhead as they
So
march.
they're advancing more slowly then.
No. They didn't take the defend action. It just
Okay.
narratively
You
they.
just, I understand. I see what you're saying.
All
Attacking from above, we shoot him from the sides.
They will dash, which means they move 4 instead of 2. All right. Hold on a second.
I mean, who doesn't like Earl Grey? Let's be honest.
I love Earl Grey.
All right. Done with my dwarf movement. Lair.
Alright, since there's no way I can get into range, I'm just going to dash up to this hex, I believe. That's 5 unit squares, and now I'm within range.
Yep.
But I'm still stealth because I'm still in cover.
Correct.
Pew 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 pew.
And that's my turn.
Oh great, what are the Helm Taurus going to do on their turn?
Get knocked off the table. All right.
Okay, that's nice.
Novinger. Looks like he can move around and assault the dwarves on the outside.
Yep, that is be the plan. So this is just going to be a straight roll, right?
Mm-hmm. Versus my straight roll.
I'm still going to roll. Yeah, I'm still going to roll 2 just in case, you know.
Just to make sure you understand, the Twilight Knights are 40 to the man, and the force that they're currently engaging is just under 400 strong.
They can take them, right, guys?
Get it. Go ahead and roll your roll.
Well, hold on a second. I missed the 400. I thought that was off over somewhere else.
No. I like that. I like that freaking gumption. Go ahead and give it to me. Roll your dice.
Okay, but if we all die,
We'll see. 12 plus 20 is 22.
32.
12 plus... Yeah, you're right. All right.
John comes back with a 57.
No, just a 28. Okay, so you watch from your parapets and kind of looking down at the fight as Novinger's force moves to the sidelong of the column and dashes into the side of it. You watch as the Elvish blades just quickly cut down dwarves, slashing into them as they're kind of holding their shields up to start the combat. They start lowering their defenses and turning their phalanx, but too late as Novinger just starts wedging through and entering into the column. All right, Alcantara, you can assault from inside and attack them with fortified position, if you please.
Woohoo!
Yeah, but-
Fortified visit. That sucks.
Sucks. That sucks.
So, John, if I understand correctly from what you're saying, I win automatically is how this works,
No,
right?
that's you.
Wait.
That's how it
Andy
works.
could use Portent, right?
Could
The only one we have left is the 7, which
Yep,
Oh,
doesn't
that's
help.
not gonna do much good. No.
So basically,
not
we could
gonna help.
we could impose a loss, or we can
Can you
make a
use the
win
port-
a very strong win.
Use support
I-
on their roll.
yeah, I mean, honestly, if we don't do damage to them, basically, they're, yeah.
It sounds like at this point it's worth just waiting till you actually hit, and because you have
Pretty
advantage
much,
now,
yeah.
and then getting
yes.
the massive success.
That's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm sitting, yeah.
Yeah, and also if you gave them a 7, the 7's still higher than the 3, and they have way more force than she does, so it's presumed their BR's higher. That said, good shot. Yeah, you're not used to the fortification, you're still getting used to it. Speaking of getting used to things, Cyril, if you'd like to go ahead and throw another Arcana or History check your choice to see if you
Oh,
can
I sure will.
instruct them how to use the defenses here.
Well, we're gonna try a history check this time.
Get it.
Same number, but it's just a different feels. Okay, so I'm gonna use my inspiration and take that 26.
Okay, so at this point, you now have an action that you can perform in the midst of this because you are taking command of it. You can make a single arbalist shot from the tower against any unit outside of 5 feet and within, what was the arbalist's range? 3 hexes? So anything that's within 3 hexes of the tower but not adjacent.
Okay. Upon what? When do I do that?
You can do it during Alcontra's turn. So at current, there's no immediate target for that. But if more forces do arrive, you'll be able to shoot them before they enter into the foray.
And what kind of a roll would I do for that?
You'll be rolling a battle rating roll, but you'll be utilizing the base of 10 instead of Alcontra's roll. And you'll be trying to assault their roll. So it'll be your roll versus theirs.
So that's a d20
Plus 10.
plus 10? Okay.
Yeah, and you're trying to beat my d20 plus my battle rating. All right.
Better than my d20 plus 3, Andy.
Again,
Yeah.
you're the only one who's killed a unit.
No,
Oh,
Novinger killed a unit.
Right, you're right. Okay, so
I helped.
Alvin, it does look like they are engaged in melee. That should be over 1. I don't know how you're. Oh, weird. Yeah, Novinger's movable by everybody. But yeah, if that's the case, hold on a second. Inside of the rocky outcroppings to the north of the keep, you see that there is another column, 400 strong, moving through the rocky area. Most of them seem to be armed with pickaxes and shields.
Okay, I'm just gonna. I'll relay that. But I'm gonna try and shoot the guys in the back.
Okay, real quick, hold on a second. Something about shooting. Yeah, so if you're shooting at a unit that is engaged or adjacent in combat, you have disadvantage for the roll, for fear of hitting your own targets. So,
Okay. Even if I came on this flank of them?
Yeah, because again, it is a massive wedge, but they're effectively intertwined. So.
They're surrounded now? The 40 is already surrounded?
Yeah, they ran right in as a wedge.
Alright. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
They're that confident in their skill.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Captain Badass, basically.
I don't think it would have mattered either way. But.
That's my thing.
Yeah. And that was just arbalist fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Which again, you have enough ammo for purposes. The combat's fine. It's just the ballistas that are numbered. It'll go to the dwarves. All right. Real quick.
Are they going to try and attack Captain Badass?
Probably since.
Come-
Oh gosh.
Coming down the road, you see 2 more columns of 400 strong coming around the tree bend. The group in the forest will move its 2 spaces because difficult terrain. As it enters into the forest line, it disappears underneath the tree canopies.
Oh no. Oh no. We're getting overwhelmed.
All right.
Well, just remember what Tim Allen said. Never give up, never surrender. Oh gosh, run away!
Blair.
Pew 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 pew.
So
I
advantage,
have
disadvantage. Yep.
Ooh.
So it's a straight shot.
But they're also the only weakened unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably have the best shot to try and finish it. So it's just straight, so it's 20
Mm-hmm.
plus 3. Nope, I don't hit.
Hold on. Yeah, you do not hit. All right. Novinger.
And I'm actually going to move a bit too, so they don't necessarily track down my location.
Sure. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to move anyways. They're currently locked in combat.
So wait, did the dwarves attack us at all that turn?
No. The dwarfs did attack Novinger. I rolled really low and just assumed it, but go ahead and roll a d20 for Novinger. Or yeah.
15.
I assumed correctly. Sorry.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure because we skipped past it without having him either him or me roll. So I'm just want to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, I remember rolling, but yeah, it was versus Novinger. It looks like the encircling by the dwarfs is being thwarted. It looks like the wedge is kind of funneling into a diamond pattern, and it's maintaining an exit out of the encircling. So they are fighting in kind of a triple point wedge with a back line that's ready to exit and narrow. Very elvish. But yeah, now Novinger will attack. So go ahead and make another
Well,
d20.
hold on. My one other question is, granted, this might not be the time to do it just because of difficulties, but is grouping 2 units together an action also?
Yes.
Okay, so if I basically took an action to have Novinger group up with my unit in the tower.
No. So the problem is they would have to fortify first, and then they would have to merge. And if you
Gotcha.
wanted to merge with them outside of the fortification, you need to take 3 turns to unfortify, and then merge would be a 4th action. Yeah, leaving the fortification is going to be difficult. However, what you can do is, as an action, you can split your forces, give half of your forces another leader, and send them out from the fortification. But since you have fortified, that is where you'll be for a while, unless you want to take the investment to leave
Oh
it.
yeah, no, I wasn't necessarily thinking about me divesting from the fortification. I was just trying to figure out, if things get bad for Novinger, how simple or hard would it be for him to, escape / merge up with my...
Gotcha.
That was more what I was getting at.
And sorry, 2 turns. 2 turns to unfortify. Apologies.
That's fine. Just want to make sure again, first time we're really doing this.
Sure.
Want to make sure I've got the mechanics
And
down.
I think we're doing okay. Just
think
yeah,
so.
there's definitely weirder stuff coming along.
So
Are
Novinger's
we
roll.
working under the assumption that vigilance is always getting activated?
Yeah, so far nothing's
Okay.
moved adjacent to him though.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So
Beats,
that is
that beats by 11.
34.
Yep. So that'll be. So you watch Novinger's squad from on high in the fortification, and also from the flying boat, and from the forest. You watch Novinger's force do some work. Like I mentioned, it entered in as a wedge, and then it formed out into a diamond. Its narrow end kind of in the back line, and it creating 3 wedge points. You watch as it now splits into 3 separate smaller units and start wedging through into other units. You watch as the blades start cutting outwards, and this massive swath of dwarves starts to become apparent from above your vantage points, and also from the distance to the side. Clearly, at least 100 dwarves fell to blades in that minute, in just that minute, as they pushed outwards in that way.
All right, guys.
The
Now
dwarf-
watch me get double ones.
The dwarfs that are fighting seem to be immensely underskilled compared to the Twilight Knights. That said, Alcantara, fighting from fortification.
Ready for your double ones, guys?
I can't wait.
Baby, go, go, go.
Hey, it's a 1 and a 3. I was close.
What's the 3?
3 plus 18, 21.
Yeah, you beat me by 2.
Guys, I
Wow.
can roll shit and still win. This is okay.
So it seems that the assistance from the fortified positions, the murder holes, some kind of defense positioning there, doing a decent amount to the dwarfs as well, but not as much as Novinger, obviously. All
I
right.
like to fire
Obvious.
the arbalist.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. I forgot to roll a morale save. Only barely beating it. Okay. You're firing the arbalist at what?
Can I fire? So are these grouped together? Could I hit them both?
It's 3 squares.
3
So
squares.
Oh,
she's
it's only
3
3 squares. Okay,
Yeah,
how
it's,
about?
it's not that
And it
far
can't be
away.
5 squares. Okay, then I can't do anything. Sorry.
Right.
Can the
Yeah, you
arbalist
need to wait
take
for the
basically
rearrange.
like the guard type thing? So if they move within 3, he can get a shot off.
Yeah, you can take the position to. The range guard is Overwatch, not guard.
Overwatch.
Yeah, it's only for ranged weapons though.
Well, so what does that mean? That means if they
If
come
something
into
moves within
position
3,
even
you
not on my
fire.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like-
Overwatch for these dwarves to retreat.
Okay. Or do you want to
I feel
Overwatch?
like making some sort of diva comment at this point for you, John.
No, I'm telling Andy to Overwatch for these dwarves.
I don't I don't play
they
Overwatch. So you have to
retreat.
say.
Stop. The term Overwatch just means that you're readying to fire at ranged. It's like
Got it.
taking the readied action to shoot for a ranged trigger. So what you're going to say is I'm overwatching, and all that means is if something enters into your threatening range with your shots, you shoot it. That's it. That's all it means.
Got it. I'm diva-ing, right?
No.
Yeah.
Diva-
Stop trying to-
diva-ing, or potentially you're.
I have been
detecting
accused of
cheating
that.
in CS:GO.
I have been accused.
I quit. So you. What are you doing, Dan?
I fly to here,
Uh-huh.
shoot them, and then fly back.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the double rolls, and then again my battle roll versus yours.
22.
Is not good enough. Basically, with the defense of the tree lines and the acknowledgement that you've been flying around, they're able to keep their defenses up. Alright, use it back into position. It goes to them. Dashing.
Through the snow, window one force open. Not that one? Okay.
Dashing. Dashing. The dwarf line there, it will attempt to continue against Novinger. Go ahead and make your roll. I'm pretty sure you have to roll a 4 to beat me. Yeah, you succeed. Okay. The dwarfs seem unable to penetrate the shield lines of the elves. The elves' blades are moving up with kind of elegance and grace and uniformity. If you've seen Lord of the Rings, which of course you have, duh. It's like when the orc line in the very beginning, in like the prequel bit, like hit the elf wall and the blades all like swing at the same time. Like that's the like efficiency we're talking about here. All right. Speaking
scene.
of charging and blindly, Lair.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. Again, I probably should have kept track of what their BR possibly was, but I don't know. So it's either shooting straight roll against the weakened thing seems like the thing that makes most sense. I'm most likely to hit against a weakened force with a straight than advantaged against a thing that will have to roll a 1 to beat me.
Bring it.
1d20 plus 3. 16. Maybe I have a shot.
It's a miss.
Sorry.
Oh wait, no, sorry. You said you're attacking the weakened one. Sorry,
Yes.
I have to roll.
He rolls and then says, "That's missed."
Success.
Yay!
So the outside line that's kind of being torn down, you watch as they kind of breach away and are trying to remount and focus back in. And at that point, Larry, you kind of point down and them, and manage to hit them with a hail of arrow fire. As they try and break away from that, you manage to kind of impale lots of them with your arrows. You will note that you aren't currently detectable, but your actions are obviously seen. So the dwarf line that's approaching does seem to have kind of an idea of what might be happening here. They don't know right where you're at, and won't unless
Right.
they're adjacent to you. So, do you still have any movement or no?
I believe I have 2 movement left, so I move south.
Okay.
One hexa. Just create more distance.
Cool. Novinger on cleanup crew.
Can't believe this. I'm getting beaten by a rug. That's a 30 straight.
You said 30?
30 straight. Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be enough. And they break. So you watch as the retreat. So as it states here, they flee and they're removed from the game. But for narrative purposes, I want to know: does Novinger have the command to rout, or are they allowed to retreat? It's not. It doesn't change the circumstances of the situation. I'm just asking, do you allow them to live, or do you kill them all there to the man?
I'm going to say let's route.
Yeah, baby.
There's a lot of dead dwarves in that crater.
Still salty over
Well,
what they
yeah,
tried to do
but
to you.
it's sending a message.
All right. Cyril, Leaf, you would definitely hear the cry for no mercy come from the commander as Novinger and the fortified position managed to tear apart the dwarves outside. Alcantara, it's your initiative. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just outside of range still. Do you want to ready up Cyril for our
Yeah,
blows fire?
definitely.
Perfect.
If they come in either way, either from the
Yeah.
west or the
And then,
And
north.
go ahead.
I was going to say, since he's doing that, I know probably not, but I can ready if they actually approach and get close to the wall, right?
You take the guard action. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Alvin.
I'll just relay that they're going to be flanked from the north. Also, I'll just fly down.
Okay.
Not going to carpet bomb the forest.
No, they don't. And then part of my movement, I would shoot at the closest group.
Okay. Roll it.
27.
Failure. They managed to keep their defenses up. I'm
Yeah,
rolling,
I can't do that.
I'm rolling
Damage
pretty
to
good.
them.
I'm rolling pretty good. Again, the higher the force, the harder it is to penetrate. All right. It goes to them. That will provoke the readied shenanigans.
Okay, I'll just roll it. See if this works.
22?
Anybody have the bardic?
22.
Well, actually, I think the way that
It's an arbalist shot, so it doesn't have advantage. It's a
Okay.
siege weapon. So he does have it right. And then you are adding 10 because it's a base weapon. It does not have the BR rating. Normal, only allotted to it. So yeah, that'll work. 22, but they are able to keep their defenses up. Basically, what you're witnessing from the top and aiming the arbalist down, you watch as the sky ship comes descending down, and you see bolts coming down, and all the dwarves kind of drop and kind of like raise their shields up in response. And then as they kind of shuffle and kind of move forward, you fire your lances, and they kind of and bring the shields up to kind of block against the bolts fired at them from the front.
I rolled a natural 20, John, for my guard. I rolled a natural 20.
Correct. It would be a triggering on the first one, so that's the one kind of at the bottom there. So go, let's see, 20 plus, you're at 18 right now, BR?
38 total, yeah.
All right. That exceeds by 5. I also need you to go ahead and make one for Novinger as well, who's auto guard.
Natural 20!
Nice.
So
a
that's a
40
total
for
of 40 for him.
Good rolls.
So in about a minute span after like the arbalists kind of fire in, you watch as the dwarf columns kind of move down in. It looks like Novinger and Alcantara have kind of set up a death trap where all the dwarfs are. And these dwarfs were the unlucky ones to move into that same death field. You watch as Novinger basically moves around in the back and pierces inwards, causing a widening and a backing up towards the actual fortification. And then you watch as Alcantara's forces attack from their murder holes and positions in the fortification, killing about 200 in the span of a minute. It does seem that these dwarves are not as combat good as these elves are.
I did something, guys.
Ulair.
Did they pass their morale check?
Oh, they need to make 2. Thank you. No, they did not. So because of the remaining size of the force here, there is no option for routing. You do not kill them all. Several of them do die on their trial to escape, but dozens more actually get out and are
Can
basically...
I spend my turn chasing them down?
You're attacking a bunch of individuals who are breaking ranks. You're not
Okay.
attacking a column anymore.
Okay.
They're effectively removed from the map. All right. Let's see. Ulair.
All right, so there's no way I can actually attack. Wait, let me just double check. Is this spark considered still forest or is that road?
I would say that's road.
Okay, so because there's
It's
no way
isometric.
boom. All right, so I'm just gonna move up north, and then oh come on, why does it do this to me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm back in forest. All right.
Okay.
So I dashed, but now I can re-stealth next turn and start pew-pewing again.
Real quick, more for narrative purposes than anything else, you will see what looks like a pretty decent-sized command force. I'm not going to put it on the map, but basically it is retreating on its initiative, which is at the top. But you effectively see what looks like a command force with like banners, and looks like it's the leader of all the other dwarves, and it looks like it's turning tail and heading back towards the other bridge.
Okay. I let them. I inform others that it looks like their command is leaving.
Nice. I wonder if there's a way to make this a forward position now. We could hold this spot.
I think
I mean-
what we need to do is hold this spot. Once we've defended here from these other two units,
Right.
split the unit down, have some of them go up towards the other bridge.
Novinger moves into assault. Yeah.
Most likely.
Success by 11.
39. Nice.
Rolling hot. And they do not. They hold. No call for retreat has been made. So Alcantara, you're up. You still have your 2 actions. So go ahead, Cyril. Give me your dice roll for shooting outwards. And
Okay.
Okay, someone, please.
you have
give me-
advantage.
Oh,
You're
that's
attacking
right.
from
Never mind.
fortification.
I forgot. So,
That will cause them to break.
Nice.
And then Cyril shooting at the north side. It's a failure.
21,
They're
21.
yeah, they're fresh. They are dashing into the fortification, but once they arrive there, they kind of double dip back before they actually get in. They stay on the outside of the crater. It doesn't look like they're motivated to go inwards. Alvin.
So I know you said that they've broken, but I don't see a point in firing on these guys because every time I've tried to, I've done nothing. I'd
Sure.
like to take my turn to, for purposes of the game, kill these guys that are fleeing, that are breaking.
Yeah, that's fine. Again, I mean, narratively, that's fine. What I'm telling you is that was about 200 dudes that just broke.
Right.
There's no way
Well, I'm
you're
gonna
Well-
kill 10 of them.
here's
Or
a
20.
question for you: if they are retreating, do you want to just sort of like do like any scouting up this direction?
I let you guys know too that command staff was fleeing towards the bridge.
Right.
So that would potentially be more of a worthwhile fleeing unit to go hunt down.
I'm not going after. Like, I don't know what else is past there, right?
Right. You don't know where they're fleeing to.
I'm not going that way.
Alright.
Well, I guess I'll shoot at this guy then.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, 21. That's I can't not hit that. Okay, so what you'll notice is that the commander of the dwarf force at the outside of the crater at this point, after being shot at, they are kind of defending themselves, but you're noticing kind of like a weakening in their resolve. And you see that the commander kind of moves out to the front of the group, standing at the edge of the crater, and he raises the flag up. The flag that he raises is the Elvish symbol, like Elvish rune, for surrender.
Bring him to me.
Could we possibly get a dwarf detachment?
All right. That said, it
Unlikely.
looks like a pretty successful situation there. Really good stuff. Alvin, if you do a quick scan of the remaining coastline, what you will note is that there is another fortification kind of style grouping with 3 ballistas set up and ready to go. Just north of where you're at, it does look like they have some sort of cavern structure that they're near. And based on what you learned from, if you're communicating all of this together, Ulair, you would know that the schism that was found on the island by Asher was right around this location, because he'd mentioned
Okay.
a cavern structure.
I would mention that to the others that that's where the schism was found. We're
On the
hunting
coast.
for them.
Yep, it seems like the dwarves were holding a defensible position at that cave mouth. But they also surrender once they see the airship come up from behind them. They surrender to Alvin. The dwarves on the top there surrender to Alcantara. Eventually, you get them all kind of pushed in. If you are taking them as prisoners, or allowing them to retreat back to their homeland. Your choice. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the music, and you tell me what step we're moving on to next. What's the thing we're doing?
I mean, it would be pointless to take all of them as prisoners, I feel like.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's where he's going. Sure.
Oh boy.
The Bloody
What?
Duchess.
Hey, listen, sometimes you need bargaining chips, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. We shouldn't kill them though.
I wasn't saying kill them.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying.
No, mostly what I was saying was we can't take all of them as prisoners. It's like, what did you say? This is a unit of like 400 dwarves.
Yeah, so you got 400 dwarves there at the crater mouth, and then you have 80 dwarves up at the cavern mouth to the north there. Yeah, it again, your forces are substantially smaller, but it looks like the 400 dwarves have surrendered.
You
If,
think they would want to send them? We could send them to the capital. They could deal with them there. Maybe lock them up or get information from them.
it does
So-
look it does look like 1/10 of the forces remaining with their commander, and it looks like the rest are moving in a column, still regimental, up the road, unless they're being stopped.
So what I was going to suggest, Andy, is we search through the ranks to find any higher ranking officials. We take those people prisoners, and then basically the riffraff, we just send them across the bridge to the Dwarven lands and tell them to not come back. They aren't welcome on this island.
So you're wanting to stop them and inspect them before they retreat.
Yes.
Got it. So what I need you to do is you need to make I believe it's influence. Yeah, that's what I want. I want you to go ahead and make an influence roll.
Hold on a second, let me... So, influence is what?
Should be a +7 to your d20 roll.
Okay, so it's just a d20 plus 7.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I want. It's going to say deception, but that's just deception.
Seb's same. Yeah.
24.
Alright. So you manage to halt the commander, or command the commander to halt, and then basically explain the rights of surrender to him, per Elvish tradition. And Elvish tradition dictates another thing as well. Not only are the ones who raised arms against you sworn to never do so again by being allowed this life, they're also sworn to drop all weaponry and armor at this point, and grant it to you.
Yes.
Sounds like a deal.
300 of 400 dwarfs do just that and leave, effectively depressed looking as heck. The 100 dwarfs that remain in their armaments but drop their weapons. And if you ask them why they're not relinquishing their armor, they state, "We will be taking us prisoners. We will stand with our honor, worn about our shoulders."
That's perfectly fine. And
You would know that in the Ballenroth tradition, a dwarf is two things: honor and glory. Most important things to a dwarf. Their honor is their armor. They wear it on their shoulders. It is the most, for a true master of dwarf honor, a very honorable dwarf. Their armor very, very, very noticeably shows that's the case. And their glory is typically either their shield or their axe, depending on their own personal life goals and endeavors. Most nobles will take up an axe or sword as their glory, and then most defenders of the Ballenroth keep will take up the shield.
Fair enough. Basically, what I would do with these guys then is send a message ahead to the capital. Then I'm not where necessarily is the teleportation circle situated in the capital.
Right dead center, right in the tree.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out, would it make sense to send 100 dwarves right dead center into the tree, basically?
If you said word first, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I would do then, probably, because I'm just figuring if they're going to surrender as prisoners, get them fastest way possible to somewhere more secure than my tiny city with just over their size of people.
Okay. And you'll take the specific commander of the 400 as your prisoner. The commander of the smaller force just appears to be kind of like a gear junkie, like more of a tinkerer than anything else. He's like the ballista man. But yeah, if you go about the process of relinquishing those ballistas from their use, you gain a total of 6 ballistas and around 30 ballista shots. And those are the metal cord dwarvish ballista shots.
I suggest to leave to make a song called Ballista Man. Vaguely inspired by the Piano Man.
I will tell you that that airship isn't carrying that many bolts, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be. I think what's
That's
the
what John thinks.
what did I say the hold on a second here.
We just store them and you use them as needed.
So
Well, also,
hold on, let's do some math because you guys love that. It's your favorite thing, right? A ballista bolt weighs 300 pounds. Is how much those things weigh. The metal cord ballista bolts, 300 pounds. The ship
40 tons.
can carry 40 tons.
I think you can hold them.
It should
Alright.
be able to hold it easily.
Fair enough.
the only thing against that would be, since we have 6 ballistas, though, keeping some in reserve to actually use with said ballistas as a defensive force.
As you build up your outer heaven. Cool. It's a video game reference. Do you get that one, Andy?
I do not.
So I'd like to say I personally think of this island more as Shadow Moses.
Very good. You get
John.
the reference. You get inspiration.
I would direct my blood hunters to just see if there's anything that they drop that might be useful for you. Might be able to upgrade your equipment. If not, don't worry about it.
Fair. Scouts are pretty much static. They're not going to use any armaments that the dwarves have let go. But yeah, maybe one picks up an axe and puts it in his belt.
Worth a
Ooh,
shot.
shiny. Yeah, armor is not for them.
Right.
That said,
And that's the big thing you're getting from dwarves is armor, potentially.
I'm assuming you also take the time to scout a bit with the boat and with Ulair. You will
Yeah.
note that they did have camp set up near the coast on the eastern side, but nothing too structured. It does look like there's an old tower and fortification that the dwarves probably built that looks like it was under massive disrepair. This one actually here towards the center. And it does look like some repair efforts were being made on that. In the rocky lands there in the middle, it does look like they were quarrying stone, probably to be utilized for the repair of that fortification, the dwarvish one there in the center. And that's where they were quarrying, correct. That said, the the mine or whatever that hole is. Not sure what they were doing with that. Yeah, they look like they have well on retreated. That said, Novinger suggests leaving him and his 40 here at the Dwarvish fortification and holding it until such time reinforcements can be provisioned. That or leaving your force here with a commander of your choice, probably Novinger, to hold this fortification here on Nadrasi for you.
So I was actually thinking of leaving Novinger here. The other thing that I was wondering is, do we have anyone in town? Granted, it would probably be like a group of people, not just a singular person, but like anyone in town that could continue repairs on like this tower by the other bridge so that we could have a fortification closer to where the dwarves would actually come across.
Your temple has a lot of hard workers. They're currently probably in Ascar Yanui at this point, but you definitely have a lot of workers. The main issue is that the island isn't technically yours, so you'd want to speak to the Nadrasi people. They said you could hold position here, but you don't know if that means building permanent settlements or not. So if you want to maintain that peace, you'd want to try and find the Nadrasi and see if you can get...
I'm not necessarily thinking of keeping it as a permanent settlement as much as getting
temporary.
it battle ready in case, like,
I
just
understand.
so that we have a bit more of a forward position.
Understandable.
Are we gonna dismantle? We can't just leave in the future. We can't just leave this as the strategic advisor that you would have. This tower is now forfeit unless they can remove it from your bridge, because there's literally if we lose this position again, and people are able to actually fortify it and hold it, it's extremely difficult. Because I mean, you have advantage on every single attack while you're defending this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of these X's.
Yeah.
I'm not saying give this one up. I'm just saying
I'm
make sure that we
saying in the
also have
future
this
of
one.
No, this is ours.
Real talk.
This,
Real talk. If you hadn't moved on this position now, all of those massive amounts of dwarfs would have been inside of the fortification, and that would have been a much tougher bit to try and take down.
town is never going to give this fort away unless it can.
If Novinger is holding it, it's going to be very difficult for it to fall, for sure.
Yeah, no, and as I said, Dan, I'm not saying we abandon this fortification.
I'm
just saying we make sure we can also have people in this fortification.
This is not Dan, this is Alvin.
Well,
I'm saying, for as long as the city is alive, this is now ours. This is a part of the city. This is ours. Do you
I'm not
understand what I'm saying?
sure how much the people of this island are going to be particularly fond of that.
Well, that's fine.
Alvin has made his point known.
Yeah.
Regardless, I would like for Alvin and Quothis to go ahead and give me just a perception check roll.
But yeah, you did say that there might be reinforcements coming, John, and that's the reason why I'm thinking it would be good to have this
I get you.
fortified also.
I got a 14.
Yeah, you would know it takes some effort. It would take some work, but it's possible. 14's good enough. You would notice that there's a strange kind of bit of earthwork near the camp, the dwarfs to the north there, just before the coast. And when you go and inspect it, it looks like shallow grave. No, not there. Up in the near the bridge, up this way. You would notice that it looks like there's a shallow grave, but it's like a grave trench that's been dug out. Do you want to search it?
Yeah, but I'm gonna regret what I say.
If you and your hunters bust out the shovels and start digging up, you'll notice that in the 3 places that you dig out, you manage to find 3 individuals, but kind of 3 kind of individual. I mean 3 different types of individual, more specifically. Apologies. First off, you find very old bones of dwarves. That have probably been left here for a couple of weeks. Probably the dwarves that were killed by the Nadrasi in the first place. You find the some Nadrasi elves, and you find Twilight Knights. The first foray that went across.
And they're all bodies are stripped of everything, right?
Uh-huh.
We
I-
found them, guys.
I just radio back that that's what I found. And I have them rebury.
You'd also notice that over like each 10-foot line, like as you're digging in, you find a marker that's been kind of set in the dirt. It's a jeweler's brass like seal, and on the seal it has a shield surrounded by other symbols. It looks dwarvish, but you're not sure what it means unless you're trained in religion.
I'm not. Is it something I think I could pick up and carry?
Yeah, it's probably it's like a kind of a disc,
Okay.
but like not a disc. It's kind of like a plate, kind of hexagonal shaped, and it's probably weighs 2 pounds. It's pretty thin, and it's kind of acid etched on the facing of the jeweler's brass sheet.
Yeah, I take it.
Okay.
So that I can have a Halo look at it. And actually, what I would do is I would have them rebury the dwarves, but then recover the bodies of the elves for any kind of elvish burial rites.
Sure. Elvish people are buried under trees, and what you would notice is that this burial trench, being as close as it is to the water line or the shoreline, is pretty much right at the base and roots of the trees. So it looks like the dwarfs actually gave them a proper burial.
Okay.
Um,
If that's the case, then I would just rebury them and then set it aside.
just it was a mass burial is
Yeah.
all that was kind of there. Cyril, are you trained in religion?
I don't believe so. One more.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the only one trained in religion is Halo.
It is
I think
Halo.
so. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not trained in that now.
Well, no worries then. We'll deal with it next session, or off chart there. That said, after a very quick foray into checking the areas that you've checked, I'm assuming that there will be a retreat back to Kasari Yanwi and the remainder force left here.
Yeah, so I mean, the plan was basically to leave
Novinger.
Novinger and his forces in the fortification. I can't imagine he's going to want any of our 80 people left, but if he does, you know, they'd be,
He says they're needed back in town if we're not there.
yeah. So,
You did great, by the way, Lady Alcantara. This is the first time you've seen a combat like this.
the first time that I've been able to participate, but perhaps not the first time I've seen.
Well, it seems like the blood of Aristotle resides within you, or at least the wrath of her.
Yes, well. Yes.
All right. Back across the bridge. As you're making your way back down the bridge, as you're approaching, you will notice that a very massive force of ships is actually headed into port as you're coming up to it. Looks like you're kind of arriving at about the same time. They'll probably enter into the port area.
Well, actually, John, character moment thing.
Sure. Go ahead.
While we're crossing back across the bridge, before we get back, Lady Alcantara is just sort of like, when we pass by a particular spot, just sort of very much under her breath says, "That was for you," and just keeps going.
I assume that Cyril was probably close enough to hear it. Alvin, you're able to get ahead of everyone via ship. Do you want to take anybody with you, or does anybody want to go with Alvin on a fast track back home, or is the march okay?
I don't know, does our bard friend want to
Lee?
get back fast so that he can start working on songs?
Oh, maybe. I was also thinking Lady Alcantara and Leaf both have Jack of all trades, so they know a little bit of religion, so I don't know if that gives them a role or not.
You can go ahead and make one.
Okay, I wasn't sure since we're not technically trained in it.
We're trained in everything.
Well, it's jack of all trades. I got nothing.
12's good enough for you to know that it's the main symbol in the center is the symbol of Beldendar, the god of the dwarves. So it looks like some religious rites were performed here.
Oh, was it a bad thing I took that from it?
Yeah.
You're not sure.
I know.
Or as hell.
Yeah, the ships that are coming into port, they appear to be flying the red and black banner with bright red hawk as its standard. Anybody trained in history would recognize these as the banner of Korash, the Kingdom of Korash, one of the free united coastal kingdoms of the Isle of Trasdosha. It looks like there are about 20 craft that are moving into port, well more than you can handle. Some of them appear to be staying outside of port, allowing for some entry, but it looks like 3 main crafts are moving in and attempting to dock. It does look like the porters at the dock are allowing it, as they have no reason not to. Alvin, you'd be the first to arrive back. Leaf, did you go with Alvin or no? Didn't cover that, sorry.
Yeah, I think I will go with Alvin.
Alvin, did you let him?
Yeah, there's no reason not to.
Okay.
I'd relate to the group, I guess, the status of our dock.
Okay. I mean, if you're just traveling down to check it out, yeah, it looks like the 3 ships that are attempting to take port are the
armaments do the ships have?
They have none. However, you do see that there are strange planks along the sides of the ships. It looks like they're triple stacked, and it looks like they have pintles that connect one side of these large planks on either end. You can make just an intelligence check, because you might have actually seen these or heard of them. History, if you got it. Dan?
Oof.
Yeah, not sure. If you want to spend inspiration, I mean, I guess, but it's not terribly important.
Okay.
You're not sure what they are. They appear to be very long planks, and it looks like they have pintles kind of connecting them to the ships on one end, and on the other end they have a number of blades that point downwards. Very strange. But yeah, the Korash people kind of start disembarking from these 3 massive ships. If you're kind of looking at the ledgers and checking over their paperwork as you're kind of moving in to get a handle on it, you would note that your crew, by the way, and Fitz went straight to the bar. Leaf, where are you going once you kind of hit the scene?
To the bar with my hunter. Oh, not Leaf.
Fitz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
sorry.
I'd like to talk to Alvin a little bit, or at least along the way back.
Yeah.
Alvin, my friend, I am reminded of the horrors of war.
That's pretty brutal, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it's different when a force fights a monster or something, but when you're fighting units, it's you're fighting people, and I just am reminded of the horrors of actually killing other people in battle.
Well, still your heart.
I think I must write some depressing music.
Was this on deck? Are you on deck when you have this conversation?
Yeah, but I'm not saying it real loud. Just basically, Alvin and I can hear.
Okay.
They attacked us.
Yes, I know. It is. It's just if we had lost, we would have been decimated just like them, and that thought is very depressing.
Well, our cause was right. I think it's rather important.
Yes, I need to keep that in mind. It's just these things. I am a what they call a. I'm a. I don't know. I think about love all the time, and I don't think about hate. And this just really. I have a feeling this will really scar me deeply.
Those doors, if they crossed the bridge, they would think of all the love that they would remove from our people and our land. For what reason? For their gain? Those were not good people.
Was it the individual people or their leaders? That I do not know.
Well, they followed the cause.
Some people are very easily led. That is the problem with humanoids. We just do what our leaders tell us to do.
Well, I thought you'd be freer of thought than that.
Well,
Being a a bard.
well, glory sounds good, and especially in a song. But when you are out in the field of battle, it is hell, and you see hell. When somebody dies, it is not a pretty sight.
I will yield to you that.
I will keep your words in my mind, though. I do know we were in the right in what we did, but I am just. I wish it could have ended some other way.
I mean, I don't know, man. I got nothing for you. If you feel bad about what we just did, I'm really sorry, but I mean, they were gonna kill all of us happily. What is wrong with you?
They already tried to kill Alcontra,
Alvin
right?
breaks. His demeanor breaks. I can't even.
So
Is that
I take
composure
it
still
you're
a thing?
breaking more in anger than in laughter.
they're not
Yeah.
contesting. I don't think Leaf's trying to get one over on.
But I just don't understand.
Regardless, Alvin, you see that the conversations broke before you break, and you see that these ships are entering into your ports. You immediately hit the ground running. You charge out of the lighthouse moving. Leaf, do you remain with him to check these Korash ships? You do know that they came from Aznable. Or do you wish to go with Fitz and his to the tavern, or something else?
Yeah, I'll go with him since I know they came from Os Noble. So I'd be interested since my family's from that area.
All right. So, go ahead and make a history check for me real quick. Leaf.
Not too good.
Well, I'm giving you advantage because again, you are from Aznable. So you would actually recognize what those ships and what the things on the ships mean. Back in probably a couple dozen years ago, back when the first War Queen was settled to basically raise arms at naval contests against the Korash people, Korash ships were pretty basic. Long ships, oars, some with sails. They were not exactly a naval force to be reckoned with. And everything they tried to do was battering rams and trying to smash into the opponent and gain ground on the opponent's ship to truly test the mettle of the sailors on the other craft in the truest form the Korash know, hand-to-hand melee combat. The elves, as you understand, are also very competent melee fighters. And what better way to make a competent fighter at ease than forcing them to deal with balance? Aznable came up with the ingenious idea of creating a locking mechanism. Gangplanks that are raised up and then dropped down suddenly onto the ship they are opposing, connecting the two ships inexorably with gangplanks between the two. And those gangplanks would be where the elves fight. Masters of balance and grace versus brutes who kept falling into the sea. The Korash people, seeing this brilliant maneuver, took it upon themselves to take the Aznable wharf ships and mimic them, and have ever since that conflict with the War Queen, Shara, and Snottle, have been using those same tactics.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but it seems that you can see that Alvin is having an issue not understanding what those are. So if you explain it to him, you don't have to go through it over again. Then Alvin knows. If not, then that's fine too.
Explain it to him.
Okay.
Cool.
Look. Go ahead.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay. The Korash people who are on dismounting ship appear to be warrior types in leather armors, massive swords at their backs. Some of them with crossbows, very ornate-looking crossbows. You can see the patternings of magic kind of designed into each weapon that they have. Very ornate. It's almost, I'd say the best kind of analogy I can give you is kind of Celtic patterning, kind of like the knots and Gaelic kind of designing. Yeah, it seems that the leader of the main vessel seems to be seeking you out, Alvin, and he approaches you with a retinue, led to you by one of the wharf or the dwarf portmasters. My lord, this is. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I had my notes open, but I closed them at some point. One second. Oh, it's embarrassing.
Womp womp.
Don't you start with me.
Womp womp.
This is Admiral Royce Avanash.
Greetings, Admiral Royce Avanash. What brings you here?
Well, call for war. The new war queen has sent out requests to the kingdom, and the Manticore King desires to join this conflict. I have been sent as his vanguard. You are the portmaster here in Kasari Yanwi?
That's correct.
We require more capabilities of being able to dock our ships. We will do so in cycle for the time being, but in the meantime, I request your permission to move into your forests and procure wood for further ports south of our current position, building upon your current port and making it possible for us to moor.
You would have to the lady of the land. I am also aware of maybe some opportunities, some lumber that we may have at other locations too, if we could transport it here.
If you have lumber that can be acquired, then certainly we would be more than happy to take that rather than fell trees that are sacred to you and yours. He goes, "Oh, you're not an elf." He looks at your face.
I just nod.
He goes,
Just nod.
"Interesting. Well, perhaps at some point we might have drinks together. That is where I am headed." As that's happening, Leaf, you see one of the retinue kind of look at you and go,
What's that supposed to mean?
do you try and find out, or do you just let
Yeah.
them
Yes, I would. I would say, hello. My name is Leafan Stationelu.
and
What are you trying to tell me?
he kind of looks at you and says, "Oh."
Oh, I think I know. I wink back at him.
Okay. And he nods his head. You can see that he's half elvish. He's not wearing the same kind of Korash garb. He seems to be dressed a little bit more like an Osnobler. Yeah. But Alvin, you do not miss the exchange. It is the subtlety is
It's
not
super cloak
present.
and dagger.
I'm passively perceiving at what.
You see somebody winking and kind of making gestures at Leaf, and then Leaf go, "I am Leaf. What
Yeah.
are you trying to say to me?" And then he's like, "No, shh, shh." And then Leaf going, "Ah."
We are
Generally,
so cloak and dagger, you know?
how that went down. All right. Probably just about mid-afternoon, because it takes quite a few hours to get across the bridge. Lady Alcontra returns. You would note that one of the 16 hunters that Ulair is capable of having, wasn't present because he's not capable of commanding all 16 of his force. He has to do 15. Was a runner between and has already told the people of the town that remain of your victory. So when you enter in, the 15 guards that greet you are celebratory and are blowing horns, trumpets, and basically kind of, waving flags and making a ruckus as best they can from the walls of the fortification that you enter through. Where do you head, Lady Alcantara?
I had to take this armor off because, dear gosh, it's hot.
All right. And do you tell Cyril to do anything in particular? You said you had a message you wanted sent, and the prisoner sent through the portal.
Yeah. I suppose actually first things first, I would have to take care of that because I'm the only one that knows the code word that is currently on this side of the bridge.
Well,
and
Leaf
this
actually
side of the
knows it,
portal.
but Leaf,
Wait, does he?
yeah, you don't know that he knows it. Sorry. Out of character, you know, but in character, does not know.
Apparently, out of character, I didn't know either. So
Well, now
I don't
you-
know why you say that.
Now you know out of character.
Okay, so to my knowledge, I'm the only one that knows both, or like knows it and is on this side. So probably take care of that first. Like make sure that we send someone ahead.
Okay. The prisoners
Some
are
under guard. You know, yeah.
the prisoners are transferred from the other side. The scholarly attendant at the other side of the gate, the priest, if you recall, informs your messenger, or you if you're the one who goes through and then comes back. Explains to you that the War Queen has moved to the western coast of the Rended Island. If you remember, you sent a message to her before saying that to expect possible forces from that side. You'd already relayed the message concerning the forces to the north moving to the west. It seems that the War Queen is going to meet the Ryoman's sword out
Thought
at
she was
sea.
going to take a California vacation.
I mean, honestly, it's also a good way to go. Nice, cool breeze air. I mean, not bad. But anyways, so you understand that the 100 dwarfs are being secured in prisons within the tree at the center of the enclave. And yeah, it looks like a moment to breathe, a little bit of relaxation available for you here.
Yeah.
Cyril, when you arrive back in town, is there anything in particular you want to engage in?
Can I just get a character real quick?
Yeah.
Before we left, assuming we were loading up all the ballistas and stuff, I would also try and carry any other useful resources, like the armaments,
Okay.
weapons that were left.
Yeah, it's a lot of dwarvish scale mail, is what they're wearing. So there's lots and lots of sets of that. It's all dwarvish sized. It's non-magical. There's also
We could
a lot of
dis-
dwarvish battle axes.
Could we still utilize the materials?
You don't really have
retool?
much of a smith in the town.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a lot of dwarvish scale mail and the battle axes, but again, most of your guys are armed already. You have
Are
the
they
mat- you have-
bound to sell?
again, it's not
Dwarven
really,
armor is pretty, you know.
so when I say it's dwarvish armor, I mean it's made for a dwarf. So
All right.
you'd want to sell it to dwarves, but right now it's not really a buyer's market. You get my meaning?
What about their axes?
No, I understand your mercantile, and I get the nature of it. The axes could be beneficial, especially if you wanted to start felling trees or something to that effect. Most of your combatants would probably be served better with a spear, because it's a simple weapon. Your soldiers are capable of using a longsword, and it's way cooler than a battle axe. But yeah, you have a shit ton of them. if you are loading up the boat, you have 30
we're gonna sell shit.
30 ballista bolts, enough arbalest bolts to get you through another full year from the tower. Or if you leave, you'd actually leave those at the tower, so you still just have the arbalest bolts that you had. And then, but those aren't hard to make. And then, shit tons of axes, shit tons of armor, settled. It does look like there's a mine present on the island, and there's obviously a quarry on the island. So yeah, it might be beneficial if you go back to the island to kind of build up that tower, as Alcantara was wanting to do, to mine those resources as well. But not terribly important right now. I'm getting back to who I was going to, which was
Cyril.
Cyril.
Yeah, so having been inside the fortification, is there any way that I could do some additional research that might help me understand more about how it works, how it might have been sent,
Yeah.
or even what might be coming down the way, from I don't know, from the dwarves.
Yeah, I assume, and again, we didn't really cover it, but I'm willing to retcon it so that it was done. If you want to go ahead and make an investigation check for the fortification before you leave it to see how it might have been launched.
25.
Solid. So you notice one thing about the fortification. Its top end, the crenellations, the kind of defensive battlements, weren't as ornate as the dwarven settlements that are present here. It looked like there was a very specific nature to it, kind of like positions for it to be held. And the more you kind of think about it and start planning designs, you figure that the way that it would have been held in some kind of cradle or something would have made it possible for this thing to be kind of vaulted with the center of its force, the force being that's pushing it, being on the top and only the top in its center, which means that effectively, like a bullet, something was kind of hitting it in its top end and launching it straight up and then causing it to land bottom first. Your inspection of the bottom layer and the cratering area, your presumption is that about 50 feet of stone rests at the bottom of the base, and the impacting caused it to sink enough into the dirt, it being kind of a watery area. So effectively a ready-made foundation for the fortification. You did notice that as you were investigating it with that 25, that it is not perfectly level. That entire fortification the whole time. And you don't know what it was at the time, but then when you go through the investigation, you realize what it is. It seems that the entire fortification is skewed to the side and kind of leaning towards Kasari Yanwi. Like it hit and kind of rocked forward. And it's minuscule. Like you have to presume that if you were looking at it on like an angle, it's probably like 85 degrees, like instead of 90. But it's noticeable to you, and everyone else didn't seem to catch it. But yeah, something very massive might have tossed it, a creature, or something massive might have thrown it, like a machine, like a trebuchet, or some massive force, like an explosive force, detonated it, and it was launched in that way. Based on that and the report you got from Alvin regarding the one on the back of the boat, you're pretty sure that the one on the back of the boat has nothing to do with being launched because it was already bottom down. It wasn't top down. The top is the launching position, so it needs to be upside down first before it's fired away.
Do the elves have any such technology that would be similar to what the dwarves have?
Not even close.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dwarves outrank in tech. Elves outrank in magic. Okay. Any other questions there, Andy? All right. Solid stuff. Ulair, what are you doing when you first get back into town?
We're gonna go do a little celebration.
All right, sounds good. If you go to the bar near the guild hall, you'll find Fitz and the crew of the airship getting down. All right, and Leaf. It seems after Alvin kind of deals with the Korash people, that one individual is just seemingly still trying to get your attention, and it's like a suggestive kind of trying to get you to go with them to the bar, but like not telling you outright that's what they do. But anybody who would be watching this exchange would realize what's happening.
I'm gonna roofie you.
No, I think it is just he knows that I am a famous musician, and he just probably wants to, hook up with me. It's okay, I get it all the time. So I would probably go out with him, and we would just, talk about stuff. I get these people. Everybody loves me. What can I say?
So, if you do follow this individual into the bar, they kind of take a seat far away from the party. Everyone would know everyone in the grouping. I mean, you see Fitz, you see the crew of the airship, you see Ulair, you see the regular bar people that are usually present, except there aren't any commoners present. There's no working folk present. They seem to all have abandoned the town. And then this individual's sitting by themselves, kind of looking over at you, waiting for you to come over and sit with them.
I would come over with a couple of, drinks and probably elven wine, since I am an elf, and that is what we drink.
He smiles and says, I've heard of you. You are Leaf, correct? You're the famous Leaf. Stacciatelli?
That is correct. I am the famous Leaf. I am a musician, artist. I do a little bit of everything. But why do you ask?
Well, I'm a big fan, and my father might have been a friend of yours back during the skirmishes with the Korash.
Oh, is this back in Osnoble?
Yes.
Okay, that's probably true. I did have lots of people that I served with. What can you tell me about your father?
Well, my name. Hold on a second. My cat's trying to roll from my keyboard. Okay. Okay. My name's Lefgren. Lefgren Van Est, and I am the only son of Afshar Van Est of Asnovel. Have you heard of him? And again, remember the game. If you want to have, you can. If not, you don't have to.
Oh yes, I do remember your father. A great man he was.
Yeah, well, okay, I guess, but he kind of looks at you and he says, "Well, he's been kind of worried about the current goings on of late, and well, since I'm a lieutenant in the city watch in Asnovel, he decided that it would be best if I come along with their forces after they've occupied our town or our city rather, and he told me I might find a willing ear and someone of interest in you."
Oh yes, I do know exactly what you speak of. I think we should finish our drink here and maybe take this to a more, a better location where we won't have any, eyes that are upon us that we, maybe do not want. So
It seems like this is the first time he realized like the situation, and like he kind of goes, "Oh, yeah," and then he just starts drinking, looking around more paranoid at this point as he realizes his folly. Larry, you see Leaf drinking with this young half elf individual. I mean, again, you're doing your thing, and Fitz is and his crew are well in their cups by this point. Do you want to make a note of Leaf, or do you want to leave him be?
No, yeah, I want to make a note. I want to go over.
All right. By this point, it's paranoid mode for the young man, kind of looking up at you, and then goes, "Oh," and then kind of looks at Leaf like, and stays quiet.
Leif, how you doing? Wasn't that a wonderful battle we fought? Who's this fellow with you?
Oh, my name's He looks to Leaf and he says,
then I would like jump in there right then. When he hesitated, I'd be like, "Oh yes, this is my friend Leafgren Venice. Is that the correct name?"
You see his face kind of drop a little bit, and go ahead and make an insight check, Ulair and Leaf, both of you.
10.
Totally don't understand what's happening. Totally don't understand.
I totally missed it.
There's an awkward situation, and Lefgren seems kind of annoyed, and it was left.
Hold on a second. I want to give inspiration to Tim.
Okay, I'll allow it. Ulair, you realize that this Lefgren individual, who Leaf just announced, was trying to make up a name, and when Leaf told you his name, you realize that Leaf told you his true name, and that Lefgren is now annoyed at Leaf for having done that.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. I won't be going telling anyone.
Leaf, you don't understand what Ulair means by that, because you have no idea what's going on. But you see Lefgren get a little less tense.
Yes, Uller. Yes, this is just a friend of somebody, the son of somebody that I knew from Osnoble, the city in the south. And I was just talking with him. It is, as far as that battle, I'll tell you what, I think war is not what people think it is. You think it is a great story about, wonderful battles and how much glory everybody has. But in the end, it's just people crushing other people with, war devices, and it's all horrible in the end. I don't know how any elf could really, we do it because we have to, not because we want to. That's all I can say.
Lefgren kind of interjects and says, "Didn't you say you wanted to go somewhere else?"
Yes, we are about to leave. But you know what? Have a drink on me. Uller, you are my friend, and I am happy that you were successful in the battle.
Leaf. The reason to celebrate is that we didn't die, and we're still alive to breathe another breath and live another day. Holy cow! I'm so glad none of my hunters died out there. Oh, such a relief off my shoulders. Anyway, when you write the ballad of our victory today, make sure you work in there that it was the hunters that got the first kill. that destroyed the first unit. I want us to try and build our renown out there. Maybe get some new recruits, replenish the numbers, expand operations. I'm counting on you, Leif.
Lefgren.
I will definitely do that, but I just want you to remember that this is not Leaf saying this, but I'm sure some of yours died. It's just a minuscule amount, but still they matter to their families and wives and spouses and sons and daughters. And those people will never be remembered. It will only be a great story about how some people, prevailed and others died.
Lefgren is already at the door and exiting.
The way I see it, the dwarves didn't want to lose life. They shouldn't have attacked us in the first place.
Oh,
no.
snap!
Oh no, I agree. I think who I really blame is the leaders. It is the leaders of the dwarves who started this whole thing and created this huge thing where all these dwarves died needlessly. We could have all been drinking here for fun, and now all we are doing is thanking our gods that we are alive.
I will say one interesting of note though, the Nadrasi elves and the Twilight Knights that died before, they did actually give them a proper burial. So I guess honor isn't dead amongst the dwarves. At least they honored our dead.
Yes, I think the same could be said for the Nazis, but we won't talk about that.
What? That's not even a thing. That doesn't exist.
I know this is something Leaf did not really say, but he insert other people that maybe the Vezrai or whatever.
The Altarians, the early Altarian.
The Altarians, they're like the Nazis of this world.
All right. Do you move out with Lefgren?
Yes, I would actually put some gold into Uller's pocket and say, buy some beer for me, my friend, and then I would head out.
Guys, next round's on our friend Leif.
As you are exiting Leaf and Lefgren, the two of you kind of move aside. You notice that the entourage of Korash kind of move up finally to the bar. They don't seem to notice you, but you do notice that Lefgren notices them and seems to be kind of moving to try and evade their sight, Leaf. And you move to where? You're leading the way after that. Where do you want to go?
All right, we will go to... Oh boy, this is a good question. Do I take the person back to my place? Do I take him to another place? I would like to take him to a place in town that is very quiet and there's not a lot of people around, and you can tell if anybody is watching you.
There's a nice spot that you typically would go to, right off the Bright Star Lighthouse. Your presumption is that it's just the way it was, quiet and undaunted or unseen by most eyes.
Yes, and I will take him there and I would say, okay, now tell me, my friend, what is going on?
Yes, I was sent here with a specific message for you and also a request. The message from my father, it has been brought to our attention that a grouping of assassins have been hired to kill you and other members of the foe fighters.
Yes, a lot of people want to destroy what they do not belong to or they do not understand. So, this is not surprising to me. As a matter of fact, somebody already tried to kill me. So,
it is true then. It's not just rumor. You have been targeted?
Yes, that is true. I have been targeted. And I thought it was because of my association with Lady Alcantara, who is the leader of this area, but it could be something else.
No, it seems like subtler forces are moving in on our group. It would seem that the Rob Tier Society is trying to reestablish control. Everything we've done might all be for naught if members of our group end up succumbing. It's not just you that's being targeted, Master Leaf. My father also has reports that there is a bounty on his head. A number of mercenaries from Korash made him aware of it. Luckily, loyalists and friends to us, as if you recall, my father was one of the fleet masters who, caused them so much problem. Let's see. But anyways, that is the message from my father. Be aware that you are being hunted, and always have an eye over your shoulder or someone at your back that you trust. The second thing that I wanted to mention to you is I've been sent here with a goal and purpose. The fleet is here to reinforce Kasari Yanwi and establish a proximity control at sea. Rumor has it that the Alterians are heading this way as well, or are somewhere nearby. I don't know anything about that, but our main concern is that the leadership of Bolenroth is really the problem, as you mentioned so loudly in the bar. It is our goal to try and get to the leadership and persuade them to end this war, one way or the other.
I think that is a good idea. What sort of how are you guys going to get to the rulers of Balnoroth? Do you have somebody who is of a very importance, that who can talk to them? I do not understand what.
I have a contact here who is a foe fighter. He is a person of established power. You may have heard of him. He is known as Balthar.
Wait, have I heard of him?
Balthar, he's a dwarvish fellow. Merchant lord of some sort. He's supposedly pretty well established here, but he may have a means to access Bolenroth through secret means and allow me, or perhaps you, or someone else, an unwelcome and unexpected meeting with the leadership, the king of the Bolenroth Dwarves.
Wait, is he one of the merchant lords?
Yep.
He's one
Okay,
of the three
there's-
kings, yeah.
There's 3 of them. Okay.
Balthar Cobblemug.
Renegade dwarf.
John, gain inspiration for remembering that.
Oh no, it was Tim who posted it in the chat. But
I was making a joke because you said, it's
oh, fair enough.
They're so funny.
I
But
was telling us to gain inspiration. I just wanted to turn it on him. He ruins the joke.
I'm hoping to get a meeting with him by tomorrow's mid-afternoon. As I've just arrived, I'll have to do some foraging for contacts. If you happen to know Master Cobblemug, that would speed along the process a bit. If not, then I have my own means. And I'm only interested in drawing you into this matter if you're interested in being drawn in. I understand that you're retired. You no longer operate.
Well, you know what they say. When you're a fan of the foe fighters, you always are a fan of the foe fighters. So, and you can never really turn that off. So I am retired, that is true. But, I would help you. And also, I would say maybe I can speak to a friend of mine who is named Alvin. What's Alvin's last name? Shit, I can't remember.
The chipmunk?
Alvin is a chipmunk.
Elford.
Yeah, Alfred. I
I
could
was going to say Alvin Pennyworth.
I could speak with him and see. He is he knows the other merchant lords, so maybe he could get us an audience. And you know, and our concerns could be made. So
Perfect.
yes, let me speak with Alvin first.
The sooner the better. I will be staying aboard my vessel, well, aboard the Korash warrior's vessel. I am serving as a strategist amongst them. They trust my father, as they're wont to do, and as I'm a lieutenant of the city watch, I've proven myself in combat to their captain. But I don't know exactly what my plan would be if I were to make this endeavor, make this trip. My most basic thought is to bring some of the Korash with me, and knowing that the dwarfs are like to be cowards, especially those in power, just simply end the matter outright and see if I can't place the blame somewhere else. But those methods aren't our methods. The easy way out is not the best way out. I will continue to dwell on this, but I would greatly value your counsel on this.
Yes, thank you. I would say that that does seem like a very risky proposal. You know, let me speak with Alvin first and see what he says, and you know, let us plan from there. You know, do not do anything rash. We have time. Time is on our side.
Perfect. Well, you know where I'm staying, and he will splinter off from you. Alright. I think that's a pretty good stopping point. Yeah, pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and end the session there. If anyone's actually watching this. Oh, yeah. Does look like we have people in there.
Hi, people.
It's Brent here to
Hi,
continue to
Brent.
watch the fall of Matt. He said he loves the throne that you're in.
I figured it was time that I changed, seeing as I was going so bloodthirsty this session.
Fair enough. But yeah, we'll pick up next Friday from there. Thanks for watching, and yeah, calling off the stream.